course of his duties, while he was obstructing government to give me his information, he's refusing to identify. You see how this works? We have all the power and force that everybody else does and more. So people are going to have to start learning that.
You can call HSS.
Sure.
And HSS.
Sure. And I appreciate your cooperation, and I appreciate you doing your duty and responsibilities and obligations. Okay, so can I really? Why? Because I'm asking for it, and you're in the course of your duty, and I have the right to ask you for your information when you have that uniform. Okay, so we have another person here who's failing to identify. It's very interesting how our public servants believe that they have rights and abilities that we don't have. So an agent has a right that a man doesn't have. He doesn't have to identify himself when he's working for a man. Very interesting. Okay, so I'm just gonna, don't want to invade your personal space. I just want to get your information there. So we have, there we go. Okay.
Can we get your name?
Oh, I don't have to identify myself.
Oh, but you want us to then?
No, because see, I'll go over it again. Agents and public servants have duties, responsibilities, and obligations. A man has rights. Okay. I don't have duties and obligations or anything to perform for anyone unless I choose. Okay, like if I have contract, right?
Okay, you want to argue the point of whatever you can call HSS.
Sure.
You can speak to Sean. James? With James Petrella.
James Petrella?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Talk to him, or you can call back and ask for Melinda Robinson.
Sure. Okay. And can I just get your name for the record? Okay, so you're refusing to identify. You're in uniform. You're obviously working on the people's property, and you're doing a service for the people, and you won't identify yourself to the people you're doing a service for. Okay, so I guess, yeah. Would you mind pulling your mask down so we can see you, or would you're refusing altogether to be identified even in a public courthouse? Okay, that's fine. I'll take that as a no. You will not identify yourself. And you see where the issues lie, right? Is we have people who think they have more rights and abilities than the people who created them, or the people who pay for them to work. Right? You guys get paid here right now. I'm not getting paid for this shit. I'm getting aggravated for no reason, but it's fine because we're here to be in good faith. My point is, this has to change. This dynamic has to change. I understand maybe people think I'm an asshole, whatever, for coming in here to do this. I'm trying to prove a point. And the point has been proven, I believe. But I appreciate you, Janice.
Thanks for your time.
You did your job correctly. You did your duty and responsibility. And I would suggest you, if you're in any kind of managerial position, to start training these people a little bit better. Because they're going to wind up, I don't know if you can be held liable for what they're doing, but if you're supposed to train them, you can be held liable because you didn't train them correctly. Again, I don't know any of that. But thank you. Appreciate you.
Time and attention.
Succinct and to the point. Let's get back to it.
If you could take religion and a spiritual process and make somebody activate a part of themselves that they didn't know was there, you got something. And I think that's all of what we're doing in all ways, is trying to reunite, reactivate those parts of ourselves that we've had cut off, or we've had dormant, to try to survive in this sick and twisted dynamic. The spiritual practice, right? Certain things like I do here, just meeting with people daily, talking it out, doing a simulation, right? Imagining certain things. Maybe a form of meditation, you could argue. Will reform the perspective. Will reform the way we think and feel and how we act and live, if there's truth there that resonates. So that's the modality I prefer, because I think anything else is kind of a shortcut, and really it's just a tool meant for extremes that, even then you still have to come back to your life and learn how to live it. It might just be that everybody should have some experience in their life that takes them out of themselves and it forces them to surrender over to something so they can learn the art of surrender in certain situations. How do we learn to really live and thrive again? Cool to have structure, habit, procedure, process, certain levels of responsibility, accountability that lead to success. How are we going to love again? How are we going to live again? How are we going to thrive? and co-create, have community. Right? So I see both aspects in self, and I see a lot of those same aspects in others that come forth in these spaces. But again, it's a slippery slope in a world of religious dogmatics, when the other side of that is actual nihilist, infidel, worldly scum who really want a whole population on drugs. Right? It's a slippery slope, because one side's going to call you the devil, the other side's going to say, yeah, let's do that, so they can take drugs all day, every day, and claim it to be the all. I can't, that's why I can't support it and promote it, because I know what it will turn into. All right, we got Mr. Hard Hat Creature here. That was the latest Gorilla Gem.
I want to take a moment first to thank our brother Paul for his stance in truth. Of all people I've met in recent years, he is one that has the sturdiness, the stoutness, and the clarity. I would hope all would pay attention to him. Bless him and all listeners.
M release, an actual white gorilla this time. So one of the rants I was doing on using psychedelics as a practice for quote unquote enlightenment or consciousness change versus practices of discernment and bioregulation, I guess you could call it. Yoga, breath work, stuff like this. I know that's going to upset the cuck bodies in their community, but yeah, there seems to be something to these arts or these practices from the beginning of time. I don't think any of it is inherently demonic. I think they're tools to have an experience. What you do with that experience is up to you. How are you, Hard Hat Creature? That was also a clip of one of the videos of me at the courthouses where public servants think that they don't have to identify, don't have to show their face, to carry weapons, and pretty much they're going to tell us all what to do while they think that that's acceptable. And obviously we know that's not. So yeah, just kind of jogging the consciousness and the memory a little bit back to a time when folks were about protecting and serving, not trying to get power and rights that the people that they serve apparently don't have anymore, or don't exercise. At least they have them, they don't exercise. Your thoughts in general, sir?
Not much, Paul. We're kind of in a, I don't want to say heat wave, but we got some nice weather. It's hot. So I've been I set the GPT or whatever in the chat, kind of just taking mental health days right now when because a buddy almost fucking wiping out that family. And so I'm just like, I don't want to work right now anyway, because it's so fucking hot. So to be on a slab, yeah, I'm just by the river chilling and just kind of trying to center myself and figure out what my next steps are. I don't know.
You're running the Zetetic Warrior program. You're by the river. You got tight jeans on, big boots. You're talking soft. You're carrying a big stick.
Wow, the difference between him and I is there's things he won't do that I'd love to do. So I mean,
like eat pussy, right? Yeah. Am I right?
Hey, everyone's different, right? What do they say? Different strokes for different folks. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's from anyway. So yeah, it's
he's very careful about what he's saying.
No,
diplomatic.
I like Z. I'm just razzing him. It's I think it's pretty funny that he's being serious about it. But no.
Bro, am I onto something here with this gorilla season and checking everybody over inherent respect for truth and whether you're living on it or not? Like, everybody likes everybody. Great. What the fuck are you standing for? What are you going to do and not do? I don't know. Like, did I just fall into a hole doing this where I can't now really ever respect anyone ever again completely who's not living a certain way? Am I off on that? I mean, because I like, I could like people. I could, whatever. There's something in me that's like won't let me away from it. Won't let me away from what's true and what's right and needs to be done at this time. You call it God, call it the devil, call it my compulsion, impulses. I don't know. but it just doesn't allow me to completely respect anyone at this point who doesn't humble themselves before this truth, even if they're not living it.
I don't know. You're right, but for me, when I witnessed the sheep during the 3 years there, it kind of dawned on me that I can't take it in about all these fucking people that can't see reality, won't face and look at stuff because of fear, or live in truth, right? They're just fucking, yeah, the government, whatever. I don't know. For me, it comes back to I just gotta keep myself fucking happy, man, because I went to a bad black pill, whatever, right? And you gotta come back to fucking love and shit. Because there
No,
is Paul.
I get that. But again, we use words to communicate an idea and an experience. And it's been that way from the beginning. I could love you all day long. If I don't respect you, we're going to have a problem coming from me or receiving from me. You know, it's just, it's subliminal, it's subconscious, it's in the ether. You know, you get around at a party, it immediately becomes clear on some level who respects who and for what reasons. Then by the end of it, we got a fight going.
Well,
You know,
same thing with what I just what I went through, Paul, is I've been with basically fucking these guys laughed off. They'd say, "Oh, I got insurance. That buddy that's a fucking powderhead can go wipe out a fucking 3 kids and a mom. I got insurance. I don't care." Right. And I said, "Okay, fuck you. I'm gone. I'm not going to work with someone that thinks that way." You know what I mean? Like, really? And he's bullshitting.
But that's the point, hard hat. That's my point. The Tao says don't live and work with men and women who don't care. Care is synonymous to me with seeking truth and humbling yourself before that. And you better be living it. And if you're not, don't fucking talk to me about it if I am or I'm attempting to. You got nothing to say on it. You know, and that's the thing, man. Like we might be able to live and work together because of the way that you're able to perceive and just understand and not get yourself in certain conversations and situations. These people don't get it. 90% of the time, they don't get what the fuck I'm saying and the perspective I'm coming from. You think it's something personal, right? It's literally like just business, but the business becomes personal because I'm going to do the hit on you. I don't give a fuck, right? You want to hit me? I'll show you how to do it better than you're going to do it. I know me. I know my strengths and weaknesses. You know, I know true from false at this point on certain levels. If you don't know that, you should want to know it, right? And you definitely shouldn't be in conflict with me over worldly bullshit. We got bigger things to do here at this time, right? They see in such a pigeonholed way. And then like Z will say, "Oh, you guys don't understand. Me and Paulie are here to change the world." Motherfucker, act like it, live like it. Don't just say it. You know, so if you're here to do that and you feel that and know that, well, let's get to it. Why are we playing these low level games and wasting time and going here and going there instead of just focusing on the purpose and meaning and the results that come from it, if not just the good content?
Well, and sometimes with these dummies, or I didn't want to say this, but with my ex, it would be like I'm apples and oranges. I'm holding up a fucking apple saying, "Listen, man, this apple," and she's going, "It's a fucking orange." And you can't even come to remedy with someone that when you're showing them apple, they're talking oranges. Like I lose my shit because you can't come to a remedy. You can't come to a good agreement. Because you're off on you're on different fucking metaverses or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a different timeline with a different perspective. And the only thing that's going to update that is an experience and an understanding. You're going to have to take the understanding, presuming you think I have it, and then create an experience with it. You know, you can't solve a problem with the same level of consciousness that created it. Most folks are not growing in their consciousness. Like the Tao says, the average man grows in size, not wisdom, like an ox. Man who embodies the Tao immediately outstrips the field. So you embody these certain practices and these understandings and you live them and you start becoming. You neglect them and it is your undoing.
I know there's times now I got a tight circle of buddies and I'm glad, but we're talking this morning and sometimes I'll get stressed out about new adventures, new beginnings. And it's like, buddy, never worry about worthless fiat. Like I've always been taken care of. The shit always happens. You know what I mean? And so enjoy my
You've
day.
never really done without, bro. That's the bottom line. Motherfuckers have never really done without. If they have, they wouldn't have the perspective they have. But the fact they haven't really done without, and they're so worried about getting to something they ain't got yet, that they trick themselves out of getting it. So yeah, like exactly. That's another point. They tell me about being poor and broke. If I was that, I might have a different energy. The fact that I'm not that and keep the same energy shows that I'm running off some principle and purpose beyond that.
Very true.
Who's that? Is that non-compliant Clayton there?
That's the one and only.
What's going on, man?
I'm here with Romero.
What's going on, Poppy?
How's it going, Daddy?
Hey, what are you all up to, man? They're on the land where I came from, which I'll be going back to at some point.
The big daddy of wisdom.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Who else? Who else would it be?
What do I know, man? I'm just a trailer gorilla smoking reefer constantly. I don't know nothing.
That's why we love you.
What are you all up to out there, man? What do you got going on? Or do you want to tell? Yeah, you're on the land.
Yeah, I'm back over there at Romero's.
All right, cool. We got resolution. So, what do you want to tell these people about not being a punk ass bitch and slave? Because this was the guy right here who I told people about. They put in jail for about 33 days. Interesting number, of course. I
got a letter back today from the Attorney General of Arizona, and he said that I should go and contact the federal. I got the letter. I can get the letter if you want to listen to what it says.
Yeah, you got to stay on it, man. And file the. You got to get a case filed.
I'm going to write a letter with that to them, to the Judicial Committee, Federal Judicial Committee, and I'm also going to put a complaint into the Federal District Court. Because remember last time we did it, and they said, "Oh, you got to do it the way we want you to do it."
Yeah, they're going to want you to follow their official.
I'll do it their way. I don't give a fuck.
At this point, it's not really about that. It's about taking from them so they stop their nonsense and they know not to do it to you again.
It's about remedy because they've already done the loss and harm. So now I require a remedy. That's what I wrote to the Governor, Secretary of State, and Attorney General.
So you're like a full-on sovereign citizen at this point, some might say.
No, I don't say that.
I know you don't, but some might say that. Of course, we're entitled to our beliefs, right?
This letter is to acknowledge the receipt of the aforementioned complaint, which was I never put in a complaint. Based on the review of the information provided to our office, it has been determined that the United States Department of Justice, Criminal Section, Civil Rights Division would be the most appropriate entity, because it is an entity, to help you resolve your complaint. And then he gave me all the information of the address and
right, civil rights. I don't mind that. I'll walk right in there and say, you violated my civil rights because I'm a slave.
And I'm
a citizen. See, I go right from I'm not a citizen to I have a citizenship. And if you want to call me a citizen, you slaved me and did wrong. So you want to call them civil rights, I call them natural rights because they want to play this game of they gave us rights or protected the rights that were already there. Right. Whatever, call it what you want. You still did wrong.
They're going to give me remedy. That's it. And I'm going to keep at them until they give me remedy.
Yeah, you need to file the case, man. This is why I keep telling you. The time's going by. You got to look at the legal process, study it, and put it forward. Yeah, try it. Go get an attorney to do it if you need to do it. There should be a civil rights attorney who should be begging you to take that case. And then you I
already have access to an attorney.
Let them take the cut, man. Let them take the cut, get the damn bag, tap their pockets, and then have the paperwork to show that they're not going to fuck with you no more, or this is what's going to happen.
Right. Yeah, I'd like to tell everybody that on the other side of all that fear that you all have of not doing the right thing is peacefulness, is contentment, is happiness with yourself. So get through that fear, man.
So you think Jack Talcott's full of shit then?
Well, he talks a lot of flowery stuff, and it's cute, and we like to hear it. But what are you doing? What are you doing? You're either part of the problem or you're part of the solution. There's no gray area there. So you have to look at where are you? Look at yourself.
Oh man, this boy's a full-on sovereign citizen. We put him in jail over and over. He keeps traveling without license. We dismissed the case and left him in there for 30 days. So now, if he gets the right process, he's gonna make like $1 million, $2 million off them. And you slaved for 20 years for less than that. Only cost him 30 days to get $1 million or $2 million. You better go do it, boy. He gave you the golden ticket like Willy Wonka.
They put
You're
that
gonna
on
be riding all over town, tricking on these hoes with a big bag like Antoine off of doing rights and free. They said rights and freedoms ain't profitable.
Guess what? It is. I will get
right. It's profitable in a world of frauds and defalcators because when you catch them doing wrong and they don't back off, now they got to pay you.
Right, because you got to keep at them. They know they.
You better do it because I want you to buy me dinner and a few other things. I feel like you owe me. Everyone in my life who's part of my life owes me. Doesn't matter what they've done for me and with me. They owe me because I'm such a great man and know so much and have helped them so much in their life. It just has to be that way. So please go get the money. I want like 10% of this for introducing you to this life and lifestyle and getting you inner peace.
Oh my God. Don't worry, I'm going to take care of the great white ape. Don't worry.
The great white ape. I'm already taken care of, man. God's got me. God did.
He's doing the right thing.
They said I couldn't make it. God did.
Gorilla season. Come get some.
Gorilla season, motherfucker.
That's right.
I love it too, man.
Yeah. Well, we're all going to benefit. Don't worry about it. When I benefit, all the people that are true and real, they'll benefit as well.
Hey, I mean, at the end of the day, we just benefit on putting it on paper that they ain't the biggest fucking game in town because everybody said you can't fight City Hall. I don't need to fight City Hall to remind City Hall of who and what we are and what we're here to do.
Let's put the paperwork in. That's all. It's not that hard. It's pretty easy. I did it all myself. I put all in the land recording office in Pima County, Arizona. I put all the paperwork. Someone sent me all the PDFs. I rewrote them to fill in all my information on there, and I sent them all. I paid $30 and had them all.
Okay, but now I'm telling you, you know that you're going to have me talking shit to you for the rest of your life, which time's getting short. You're getting up there in age, pal.
I know.
I didn't want to say it, but you look great for your age, but you're getting up there. You're not getting any younger. So you got to go get the damn hitman now. Please call every civil rights attorney on the damn list. Tell him you need a hit done and you want to study his ways while you're doing it, right?
Hey, I got a reply from these scumbags, so
all right, Clayton, please. I love you. I want to see you take $2 million from them, not for my own benefit. I want them to lose.
The fee schedule.
They deserve to lose.
The fee schedule for all the infractions.
If you win, I win because I put you onto all this shit. I want to see you beat their ass with what I've introduced to you, and I want to see you win and them lose. And I want to see you stand tall and learn the legal process, and I want to keep suing these bitch-ass motherfuckers till they kill us or put us in prison. I'm learning. So, I need to do it too. I'm not putting it all on you. I haven't been doing as much as I could be doing, but you got a golden Wonka ticket right now. Right?
I'm working it. It takes time, man. They're not going to just give you money.
Call the civil rights attorneys. It ain't going to take no time. Say they put me in jail for 33 days and did a Masonic ritual on me and then let me out and dismissed everything. How much am I going to have to give you to get a couple $1 million? They're going to give you an answer pretty damn quickly.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm going to call this people. They said if I need any legal advice, they said they got lawyers to help me out. So I'm going to call them up.
Right. This is the time where you use them because if you don't know what you need to know, you got to do it before. Again, as the time goes on, the less credibility it's seen as in their, in their eyes. So you got to kind of get on it and stay on it and get somebody to do it because if you ain't going to learn it pretty quick and employ it and try, which you're probably not, that's okay. Just go get the fucking guy to do the hit. He wants the money anyway. You know, it's what it is on paper. Hey, He can not agree that you didn't have a license and you were supposed to. They dismissed everything and kept you in jail. That means it's unlawful imprisonment.
And the point is that I showed him my credential card, and on the back of the credential card, it says "Do not detain." That's all it needed to be said.
Does it matter,
after
bro? I don't care if you were the biggest citizen slave in the world with 46 IDs. They kept you in jail for 33 days and then dismissed the charges.
And I even
You
have
can't
the judge
do that.
saying he didn't understand why I was still in jail. And I have it on recording.
Wow.
I have it on recording.
Okay.
Of him saying that.
So you not only got the golden Wonka ticket, you got Wonka on tape as well.
Yeah,
So, you know, like you got to go in there with it with the guy and fucking tell him, hey, you're going to get a big bag because they kept me in jail and said they didn't know why. That's not acceptable. You and I know that.
I didn't know why I was still in jail. Couldn't understand.
Yeah, you give this guy a house to do this for you. Hey, bro, you're going to get 300,000 off this and I'm going to get a couple million. So you just got to show me what you've done and the papers you're entering all along the way. Once he shows you the papers he enters to do the legal process, you could keep copies of that and then you just do whatever he did because he knows the way.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
And there's clowns in Colorado. Because I ain't really done with them yet either.
Forget about that. You're on this now. Get this shit done and then we start cleaning house, bro. This is what I'm telling you.
I know. And we could teach other people how to do it as well. So then they can feel like they're going to get something out of it. They do the right thing. I mean, you don't need compensation to do the right thing, but some people need to be motivated. So
again, why shouldn't you get compensated for your wrongs when you could use it anyway? And the only way they learn in the realm of worshiping Mammon and Molech is when you break a hoe and go in her pockets. It's pimping and hoeing.
Exactly.
You violated the game. I'm going in your pockets. I'm breaking on a hoe. Maybe you learn next time not to do that. We all have to do that or they're not going to stop.
No, they'll never stop. And it's going to get worse. If we don't start standing up, forget about it. You think you're a slave now? You don't even know what slavery is yet.
The maniacal laugh.
Trust me. It's going to get a lot worse. It has to. Your universe is only going to give what gets put out. You're going to get back what you get put out. And pain and suffering is coming.
So Tyreek sent me a contribution. Thank you, Tyreek. That scumbag Flow State was on the panel last night saying, someone needs to teach Paulie about taxation with donations and contributions. It's considered a gift from friends and family and extended community. I'm pretty sure PayPal has two options: goods and services, friends and family. When you send through goods and services, they do automatic tax hold for the IRS. When you send through friends and family, they don't do that because one's public and one's private. You don't understand jurisdiction. You don't understand proper process and procedure. You don't understand the difference between commerce and private activity. Fuck not.
You don't understand the difference between legal and lawful.
And if I have to go to prison through tax avoidance by receiving gifts from extended friends and family and community, then that's what's going to happen. Because we all know damn well I don't have to give a U.S. corporation a piece of a gift that's given to me from somebody who does fellowship and ministry and community with me daily for years. Suck my dick.
And there is no full expression of the law that says you have to pay anything.
I'm not doing it. Come get me now. We all got trackers and tracers. Why are we playing this out waiting? Just come get me now. Let's get it over with.
Yeah.
No sense wasting time here.
That way you can hold them liable.
Yeah, go ahead and put me in prison and then fucking manufacture fraudulent instruments and I'm going to wrap you up at some point.
Yeah.
Right? You can't, if not, God's going to take care of it. I really don't give a fuck. I can't.
They put you in jail. It's a gift. That's what I learned when I was in jail. You know what? This is a freaking gift. I'm fucking excited. Thanks for the gift, universe.
You weren't excited that day we were in that place and you started screaming and yelling and banging on the door.
Well, they let your fucking ass
bro,
out.
He's seen them let me out.
You out.
He's seen them let me out because I was in there monk style, like just meditating. And the energy was so strong in there. The bitch walked by. She goes, "You need to come out of here." I go, "What do you mean?" She goes, "I got to let you out of here." I said, "Nah, you can't. The captain's order is I got to stay." She goes, "Oh, well, you're coming out." As soon as she let me out, they got to releasing me. This guy, I saw him. I looked over at him in the thing. I go, "Bro, I'll be outside waiting," because I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I was just going to wait outside, however long it was. If I had to sleep out there, that's how you got to do it. We come together, we leave together. So he started banging on he gave me a look like, "Where's this motherfucker going?" He started banging on the fucking thing, yelling.
Yo, I banged on that for an hour, dude. I was driving them fucking people nuts. We came in there, he flung the door open to Sergeant. He said, "You better quit banging." I said, "I'm gonna fucking bang all fucking night until you let me out of the fucking cage." So I'll get you out, man. I said, "You got minutes to get me out of here."
Bro, they called up my father. They said, "You know, we got your son here." I didn't tell them to do nothing. They just reach out to people sometimes. They said, "We got your son here. You're next to kin. He's in jail." He seems pretty polite and respectable. We don't necessarily agree with him. He's got a lot of beliefs. They go, "But this other guy he's with."
Yeah, but they let me
This
the fuck
other
out,
guy
didn't
he's
they?
with is a problem.
They let me out though, didn't they?
Right. I mean, listen, sometimes you got to turn up on them. Sometimes you got to go monk style. What is being like water, man? Sometimes you got to flow and sometimes you got to crash.
Yeah.
So I was flowing, you were crashing. That's how it goes.
I got to get under their skin so badly that they can't wait to get rid of me.
He still got out a couple hours later. Wasn't more than a couple hours. I was hanging out there.
Yeah, you waited for a while and then you got to split. I don't blame you.
And then what happened, bro? We walked right across the street and some guy said, "I know you from YouTube," in the middle of nowhere. And I said, "Praise God."
Yeah, almost every place this guy goes.
I love how this shit works.
They never see my face, so they don't know me.
Bro, when you start to become the one in quotes and you start to see the ones and the zeros and the synchronicity in the game everywhere, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over for them and their bullshit fear charge.
I call them on I ask them questions they can't answer. They can't answer those questions that I ask them, man. And they don't want to bring me to court. I said, "Yeah, let's go to court. Let's go to trial. I'm ready." No, they don't want to take me to trial because they don't want me to answer them same questions that they can't answer. It makes them look stupid. They don't want to look stupid. They don't want me in court. They don't want any parts of me. That's why they dropped all the parts and then that was the end. And they thought that was the end of it, but it's not.
Yeah, cowards got to run in groups, right? Wolves can run in groups. They can also run by themselves. And you motherfuckers are shook, you little herd animals, all of you. You could act whatever with your team and your equipment and whatever. In your heart, in your soul, based on how you live and what you see come about for you, you're fucking shook and you should be. That's the fear of God in you. So when a motherfucker comes forth to represent that in this realm, you know what time it is. So, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be, right? I'm not scared. I'm not in the room with them. They're in the room with me one way or the other, even if I'm scared, right? Just like the bear. You know, you might be in a room with the bear. It's bigger and badder. It could kill easier. You're scared. That motherfucker's scared too. So
that's why
let's play.
Yeah, they fight or flight. The reptilian takes over and they fight or flight. And they ran away. But
bro, a big bad bear comes in growling and hollering, chasing you. As soon as you stand your ground, bop it on the nose. 8 out of 10 times it's gone because it's not used to something standing its fucking ground and bopping it on the nose. It's used to getting its fucking way. Not with me.
Nope. No, not me. I know their little game. I don't need to know all their legal nonsense. I know their game. It's all made up bullshit.
Bro, the game is not their game. The game is you versus you. You already said that, like all of us, you got fear to do what's true and what's right.
Yeah,
Once you do what's true and what's right, and they do whatever they're going to do to you and you get through it, you get more faith in that in the process. Yeah. Or you just move different and play different. But they can't take that experience from you. And the others don't have that experience yet.
It's a great lesson, man. Going to jail is a great lesson.
And I got to ask you, brother.
What's right.
I got to ask you, brother, both of you, Paul and Ramiro, as you go in this.
Oh, that's Clayton.
Yeah, I'm Clayton.
Sorry, Clayton.
Hey, nice to meet you, sir.
You betcha. So I got to ask everybody that's involved in this process, do you find it getting easier as you go, and that things somehow just seem to fall in your lap?
Yeah, because you're learning a lot more, and then you realize what's the worst they can do to you? Put you in a cage for a few weeks, and then it's an opportunity. Because I've caused no loss or harm to any man or woman, or any sentient being for that matter. So I've done no wrong. There's no crime. There's no victim. I ask them, where's the man or woman with a verified claim that I caused loss or harm? There's nobody there. They're all acting as something other than what they truly are, men and women. So when you start to realize that, there's nothing to be afraid of. They're just men and women acting as something else. They have no real
Right. So you
power.
got two choices. You can act like something else for the rest of your life and then deal with how that feels to you as a man, or you could be real and then possibly have to face the consequences.
Yeah.
So that's what certain people do this for, self-respect and for what's real and true versus an opportunity, quote unquote, to act like somebody else you're not in their system for the rest of your life, which is a fate some would argue is worse than death.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that 100%. I want to be true and real to myself, authentic. For me. Not for anyone else, for me.
Fabio's fired up today, Clayton.
Who's Fabio?
Fabio, right here. Fabio's fired up. Gorilla fucking season, Fabio. Gorilla season, kid. Fuck yeah. We're out here banging in the streets, boy.
Yeah, well, stop complying. Stop complying. That's what the founding fathers said. Stop complying. Anything.
Na rádio eu não tô de férias, não. Só tô de férias do estúdio só.
Right? Oh, that's right.
You got that girl.
Bro, every time I'm fired up and we're on a roll, Fabio comes blasting in. He's clapping. He's happy. He starts beating on his chest. He feels that primal energy, bro. I'm telling you. It's energetic, man.
You know, just because of Fabio, I've been doing some learning, and I didn't quite catch what he said there. I'd like to hear that again so I can interpret it.
Oh, you're studying Portuguese now, trying to.
I am.
He's trying to cross barriers with Fabio. He's trying to bridge gaps.
Fabio. Everybody's got a persona, man.
Yeah, bro, you're gonna get a couple million off this fucking state of slavery that they fucked up on again because they're incompetent and corrupt and they're weak. Ultimately, their foundation is weak.
I should have done a RICO on my fee schedule.
Oh, I got another guy too. He's got a video from court. I hope he shows up today. I might play the audio from his Zoom court because he was yelling and screaming and then hung up on the administrator. And then this is what I always find. He had some, I'm sorry, sir. I don't mean to insult you. I'm just giving my perspective. If I'm wrong, you can rebut it. He had some goofy bitch next to him who wasn't really down for the ride, arguing with him off to the side. Why are you doing that, sweetie? I told you to just blah, blah, blah. I'd have told her, now you can get the fuck out too. Right? Yeah. You're going to hang up on the administrator and buck up to him and then let the goofy bitch next to you tell you how to be a man. You can get the fuck out too. I don't need you because I might have to go to jail now, goofy bitch. And you might trip and fall on someone else's dick if I have to do a year or two. So, you know, you can go that way too. Right? I'm done, bro. I'm done. Right? Every time I hear a man buck up on Zoom court with that, he's got some shaky, fearful, goofy bitch next to him who's trying to talk him out of his principles, rights, and freedom. So if you got a real one, you better keep her. If she's down for the ride and she sees the truth in this, like Jennifer, you know, Isabel's another one, the mother of Ramiro's children, right? Now I got fucking Talcott in my background. Yeah, well, fuck, I'm not even entertaining that. You know, if you got a woman in your life who sees the value in rights, freedom, and principles, and putting yourself on record and stand.
I do have to give a shout out of appreciation. In case you didn't notice there, Paul finally said he's not even going to entertain me. So I appreciate that. Time to come to a resolution with self and the insanity of dealing with Jack. Again, if you're going to deal with a fool, you end up looking like a fool. So the sooner you quit conversating and communicating and having things to do with fools, the better. Now, that's not to say you admit everybody to be a fool because of one thing they do. But when they continuously do the exact same thing and fail to get any different results, that is the very definition of insanity.
And on that, regardless of the outcome, you better keep those motherfuckers in your life.
Definitely.
And that's
because
why my
that's-
companion is still with me. She went through that court case 7 years ago. She was with me for 5 years, going through all the bullshit then, and didn't have a lot of faith in me. But when she went to that court and she stood up as the only one that would go into that court and video record, the only one. And I asked a lot of people to come in there.
Yeah, man. I mean, at the end of the day, bro, there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. There's going to be a lot of changes in positions with people in your life. But as long as you're unified in principles and some kind of process, and you realize we're here to grow and learn, not to get what we want, we're here to get what we need, right? One way or the other, in every aspect, we'll all do better and be better, and we'll have a real community. You know,
that's one of the things that helped me comprehend, that she understood my principles and stood with the same principles. Because like I said, she was the only one.
She's got to. Again, it comes back on the man. If you got a goofy bitch next to you who's got infidel characteristics and unrighteousness in her heart, you got no business putting her in that position. You can't call yourself a king who makes queens if you put a goofy bitch in the seat next to you as a queen. Right? That's not how that works. You got low value standards and systems. I don't give a fuck how young and hot she is, whatever the fuck else, got good pussy. Yeah, ask the last 10 guys who fucked her. They don't think so. So I don't know what good pussy is at the end of the day. Right? But I'm just saying, you know, ultimately, if you're going to be a king and live like a king, well, then the woman next to you needs to be a queen in the way that she carries herself and the principles and values she holds. If not, you better get her right quickly or let her go.
And her given name is Joyce. I renamed her Choice, Choyce, and it's because she is mine and she is my choice. By choice. For Joyce. I know exactly what I'm doing in the language and in the actions that support the language. So again, I gave her a new name, just like Adam gave his wife a name. You give your wife a name. You don't accept the name that somebody else gave her. You come into a union and you give each other a new name.
Yeah, they just don't get it, bro. This is like militant in a way.
Whatever
You know?
works.
You got to lead yourself and your household wherever you're at, you know, and there's no other way about it as a man. And it doesn't mean with control and domination by any means. It means with value systems and principles. And if we're not going to adhere to that, then I got to let you go. I'll pull you into how I'm living if you want it to be that. If not, I'm going to let you go. Right. And it doesn't have to be any other way. That's a choice. Like the man just said.
Not too many women like that. Principles.
The kingdom of heaven is for you, sir. You know, I could have endless options of women in certain ways at this point. It doesn't matter because they're not fit to be in that position. How am I going to copulate with or bed down with or live a life and a lifestyle with a woman who doesn't get it and doesn't want to get it?
Not too many around.
Cause myself problems.
And see, it's not cool and it's not pretty. It's like Paul said, it's militant. I'm here to protect my companion, and I'll be damned if anybody's going to stop me.
Bro, the reality of it is that the woman, again, the king on the chess.
I protect her from all the bag chasers.
Board moves one square at a time. The woman moves a whole row at a time. The king is the most important piece on the board. The woman, the queen, comes second and can make a quicker move than the king can, right? And we see that in different areas of life. where a woman could get into a room and in a conversation quicker than a man can. So there might come a time where if you go to a box, your woman's going to become your protector, right? Because she's going to have to bring you whatever. She's going to have to do whatever for you on the street. She's going to have to run a broadcast or find someone to do it to keep everything going, right? So you better put somebody in position who could do that and would want to do that and see the value in doing that versus somebody who just want to be there for whatever reason.
Hey,
So
you
yeah,
tell
it
me-
could change like that, man.
Hey, you tell me, buck up and come on up, brother, because you're one of those scriptural guys, and you just sat there and told me that's pretty neat concept. It's scriptural. I don't see why you're not getting it. If you're reading the scripture, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Yet this is what tells me you don't.
Bro, how many of these guys?
All them people that profess to be these Christians studying this stuff, they don't get it.
Not everything
How
in the
many of
Bible.
these?
is true.
It's
How
not
many of these
it's a
guys?
concept. It's not about truth. It's not about lying. It's not about liability or obligations. It's about the concept that you lead your life with your heart.
Again, it's the psychology's there. It's not that mystical. If you're okay with constantly coming into a chat and never having your voice heard and just speaking up and piping up, you probably ain't the man you need to be. This is just an online panel. I would suspect that in your life, there's a lot more challenging and fearful tests and situations that come up. If you can't respond accordingly and account accordingly, you're probably not in a power position within yourself and in your environment. Probably a liability.
And again, guys, I'm not mad at anybody. I hope you just see that it's passion. I am so sick as a 57-year-old man seeing these people that are 70, 80, 90 acting as my parents and telling me that the police are my authority. No wonder that's where we get it, because they're not teaching us the scripture. Not only are they not teaching us the scripture, but telling us to learn how to comprehend it ourselves. This is the problem with the public education system.
And then you have, sorry, I told EBT yesterday, I like him. I want to work more with him. I think he has potential, but I'm going to say it. You got fat infidel slaves like EBT who say, I don't see the big deal of what following policy really means spiritually. You can't serve two masters. If police are your authority, then policy is your law. That means God and God's law is not. So you've rebuked God and God's law on record. I really don't care what you think about the consequences because you don't understand this realm. They think they're in some free realm where they like have free choice completely. Yeah, then you put yourself on record and stuff happens to you and around you. And don't you get it?
And this is the concept of recognizing many religions around the world. Nobody has authority over any other man because each individual man has his own God.
Bro, you could go to the next level. They're talking yesterday about something they haven't experienced. I've left my body. I know the feeling of dropping a body and looking at it. You can call it a hallucination. That just begs more questions than it gives answers. What is a hallucination if it doesn't mean that by changing our chemistry, we change the world around us or our mere existence? So do you want to get into the fact that we may be a piece of or extension of God itself at our purest form, and that only when we come down through the dimensions and take on a body are we lowered or fallen? Because I know when I didn't have a body, there was no emotion. There's nothingness, just pure consciousness and awareness. There is no feelingness with it. It's just awareness. So when you go back to body, you go, oh my God, on some level, it would seem I'm more just pure consciousness and awareness than I am this body I'm inhabiting. So it changes the way that you interact with the realm and the simulation. You don't become the experience, you just have it.
And you learn from it and move on.
That's it. There's no way to feel about it. They go, oh my God, you're so narcissistic and traumatized. You don't have feelings. Are you kidding? If I didn't have love and care for the truth, especially, and others, I wouldn't do what the fuck I do the way I do it. The point is, I don't have a bunch of emotions that take me up, down, and all around. If it ain't love, then it's just pure nothingness, consciousness, and awareness, right? There is no hate in my blood at this point. You can't have it that way and expect to proliferate in this simulation. So Jack Talcott could be right. You know, love is all we need, right? But it has to be an action space to it. What does love look like? standing for rights, freedom, principles, spiritual faith, sacrifice, willing to die for it, or go to a box. If you ain't doing that as a man, you don't really love yourself and your children and your women and your property and all the rest of it, your country. You don't.
Amen.
You know, if you could convince me otherwise from your feeler space how you do, I'll listen. But I can't see it any other way, logically, if nothing else.
Anything less than that's a coward.
You're basically giving your women and children up over to the system and telling me it doesn't matter if you follow policy.
Yeah.
You've given all your property and resources away, including your women and children. All the valuable.
Coward.
That's it.
Fucking cowards.
A man is here pretty much for one purpose. If you're not fulfilling that, I don't know what you're doing exactly. And I don't know what makes you think your feelings about what you're doing matter to someone like me.
When the truth is spoken, people get quiet.
And just so you know, I don't, like I said, I love you, but I don't give a fuck whether you love me back or not. Because see, I got plenty of personalities up here. I have conventions in my head all the time, and they all love me.
Love yourself. Truly love yourself.
Oh, no, that's evil and satanic. That's New World Order, because we think that you're sitting around going, oh, my God, I love me so much. I'm the most amazing thing ever. No, it's called self-care, motherfucker. What do you care about? What are you going to do about it?
Yeah, exactly. Because if I love myself, I truly love everyone else.
You can't care for others if you can't care for yourself. If you don't know what care is as an action space beyond a feeler space, then you're not really truly caring. You're just in bondage and attachment. What's up?
Love thy neighbor as thyself. And I think most of us would agree that our spirituality is a neighbor to the very physical body that it inhabits. And that would truly be our next of kin. So when it says love thy neighbor as thyself and know thyself, know the difference between thyself and the neighbor. The Spirit of God moves upon the face of the waters, and you're a whole body of water. And that's the Spirit of God that emanates from it.
Mr. Cleveland, Mr. Gallegos, Julian, Tariq, Hardhat.
Senor,
How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm here, man. Another day, right? Another day in the simulation. Can't complain.
Yeah, same here. Just wanted to say hi, Daddy.
Don't play it up too much, man. You're gonna upset these people out here.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not supposed to be in a position of power or leadership. I was supposed to fail miserably, die on drugs, or be put in prison by now. So I'm way ahead of the game, and they don't like that. The demons, they don't like it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you might be a daddy, but there's only one father, guys.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll accept that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm stepdaddy online, right? I'm just God of all media. I ain't the God of creation.
Yeah, I adopted him. Much like you're not investigating me, I'm investigating you. Fuck you. You didn't adopt me, and I didn't adopt you.
Oh, man.
Well, that's what pisses them off more is when you don't take a position of leadership, but people put you in that position or defer to you in that position at times. They can't handle that because they want that, but wouldn't know what to do with it because they got too much ego, right? I look at it as a responsibility. I don't look at.
Absolutely. Because even though I didn't take upon the role, I was kind of pushed into it out of necessity. And it was because of that necessity that I realized in finding my freedom, I had to take up the responsibilities and duties to uphold those rights, freedoms, and principles. So in those rights, freedoms, and principles, you have a duty according to a will that which granted you those duties. Pure and simple. And if you're going to take upon the will of another man and supply them with the fictitious material that they want, then that's a false desire. And you fell trapped to it.
at it as a power. You know,
Yeah.
I go, if motherfuckers say I'm a leader, that means I have to do it, others won't. And I have to accept consequences for my behavior more than others. And I have to be more accountable and responsible. And when I fuck up, I have to be all the way real about it. I talked about it the other day, right? Like, I could sit there and play, oh, I'm the biggest, toughest, roughest. When Ramiro came to me and said he was frustrated and he wasn't liking where everything was going, and I was feeling for a while a split, right? It got me emotional. You know, I cried because I don't want to go out like that, bro. You know, like in anything. You know, that's what will get me emotional in that space is I'm not going out like that. You know, we need to figure out a way. Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's do what's true and what's right. We can't, you know, abandon the cause. So, you know, I'm not too big of a man to show emotion when, you know, we need to do more one way or the other, right? Because I could see, right? Like I'm in the trailer, I'm broadcasting all the time. I should be doing more on the land, and I may just not be feeling it for whatever reason. And there's no excuses, really, at the end of the day. So, you know, I'm always going to take accountability and see where I fucked up rather than blame everybody else, because I've learned in my life I did that for too long. Blamed everybody else for what the fuck I was thinking and feeling and reacting to. And there's no benefit to that.
Yep.
It's better to be humble before the creational force and therefore in front of people when they're true and right. But I will not be humble in front of a motherfucker who is an infidel who wants to play ego games with me. You want to play, we could play. You know, we come correct and we do what's true and what's right, and we move forward and we keep it all the way real. And that's how it needs to be. You know, and he's finding out too, as we do this process, that motherfuckers who we've been living around and dealing with, they're not real. They don't keep it real. They fuck shit up. They don't take responsibility. They blame everyone else, make excuses. They hold shit over your head. We can't live like that, you know?
Yeah, man, definitely. It's been a learning process for me. And that's why when I noticed, you know, what happened and I couldn't control myself, my emotions, and I thought about it. And then that's when I said, you know what, this isn't right. You know, I got to correct myself and then come correct with Clay and, you know, make things happen, because I just realized, you know, how special Clay is, you know, and likewise, you know, so that's why I had to get it done, man. It took me a while, but that's when I text you and I said, hey, send me his new number. I got to come clear with this guy. And you know, at the end of the day, when whatever we're doing, you know, I got to take responsibility for what I got to do. And, you know, each, like you said, everybody has a special role they're playing. And that's what I'm learning, you know, so that's why I appreciate your guys' help on that, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
This is the part about each one, teach one. The parable of the talents. Exchanging your information so that when you go out and you give your information freely, you obtain information freely in exchange. So now you go back with a greater benefit. Again, I profess that the true benefit is knowledge. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. My people are perished for lack of knowledge.
if nothing else, right, we could all argue, well, this one works harder, this one's this is that. If you have a group of people who can unite over principles and do what's true and what's right and be willing to keep it real and sacrifice, that's the most important thing. Because you could find hard workers and whatever everywhere. When the time comes to stand, they bitch up and they fold because they don't have an ethic and a principle.
Exactly.
Man is defined by his principle. You know, so you could argue ethic and hard work is part of that. So at times we just got to up our game on that in certain areas and refocus and recenter. By we, I'm talking to me at this point. Because after I do a 4, 6, 8 hour broadcast, I don't want to do shit a lot of the time other than just be with myself.
No,
you know, or experience.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing work that's important. So
yeah, but again, it doesn't feel like work, but it does. So I don't know what that means, but like if you do what you love to do, what you're meant to do, you ain't working. But at the same time, it takes a toll on you in its own way.
it's the most important work.
Because you're leading by example. And that's the most important thing.
But that's why it comes back to me as far as time management. It's about managing your time, energy, attention. If I got to do 2-hour broadcasts in order to do 2 hours in the field working, that's what it has to be. Maybe I can't do a 4 to 6 hour broadcast and then, or maybe do, 4 and 4, whatever it is, and work it like a full-time job. I'm not too good for that, and you have to keep that attitude.
a little more balance, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's all it is.
Well, that's what we're all
Yeah.
here on the physical plane, is to learn. And when you start
Yo,
to realize
Clayton.
everything's a lesson, then you start to appreciate and enjoy life a lot more. Yes, sir.
Yo, man, it's good to see you. Back in January, when Paul told us about the Arizona situation with you, I sent them some notices. The old Jim Driscoll. I sent them some email notices asking questions for you, man. I was worried about you.
Oh yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, but bro, they never responded. And then so, but I got them on email admitting that they got the notices and basically chose to not reply. So if you want that
So
evidence
more
coming up.
dishonor. There you go.
Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
dishonorable. They're like rats, man.
Yeah.
They're like
Bro,
rats.
I called him up where he was at, and they told me 3 different things. Oh, he's here under wrong name. No, wait, he's not here. No, we don't know
Yeah.
where he is. I said, so now you're telling me he's there, not there. You don't know where he is. So do I hear he's dead next or what? I go, where are we going with this? Because I know me, right? Like the way I think, I go, you're going to do this way and all this for this and traffic. I mean, with this kind of walk, man, when I was in Riverhead County for drug shit, they tell me all the time, hey, bro, some kid went missing and we don't know where he is. We think he fell down the elevator shaft. Well, I started thinking they were throwing people down the elevator shaft because I don't see a reason why people just would be walking by and just happen to trip and fall into an elevator shaft. I'm silly like that. So, you have these tattooed out, thugged out cops walking around there on drugs who are more gangster than the gang members you're dealing with because they're folding and bitching up and ratting every day. These cops are murdering people. And nobody's hearing nothing about it. You get a letter home. Hey, Johnny fell down the elevator shaft today. Right. He was running his fucking mouth and they fucking threw him down there. They don't give a fuck.
No, they don't give a fuck.
Let's be real. There's killers in them organizations. I know. I look in the eyes. I know who's a killer and who's not. Right. Just as an animal, you know who's what and what's what. And I've looked in their eyes. Them ones who come with them haircuts and them gloves and they come ready to kill. And when they put you in the car in handcuffs and you're talking to them, they don't like it. They want you to give them a reason. They want to kill. They don't like when they have to leave without conflict. So, you're walking in 2 worlds, and you recognize, hey, this is the closest thing to demons and monsters you're going to get is other human beings who do shit like this and then claim them all high ground. It's twisted.
And we all helped to create this monster. Some more than others. All of us had a little, hand in creating this monster.
Yes,
and now
we
it's
did.
time to step up and look the monster in the eye and say, no, you have no power. You have nothing. You're just make believe.
Well, that is their power. Their power in this realm is the power they think to take life. Once you recognize that they don't give or take life, they just change the experience. This is what I suspect. They don't actually kill you. The experience changes after your body dies. But once you see it a different way, you've taken all their power.
Yeah,
because now they can't get you to act up and they can't kill you. And that's what they want to do in this earthly realm. That's their only source of power they have is what they could generate through fear. And obviously what people fear the most is fear of death.
Yeah, but there's nothing to fear in death.
If you go beyond the fear of death, then you go beyond your power structure and control system. And you need to do that for spiritual work anyway.
I told them when they had that idiot from the.
This is as it relates to ye shall hate even your own life, for if you don't, you cannot follow Christ. You have to be able to be willing to sacrifice the temple for the spirit. Period. Plain and simple. And that's the part of the principle. If you really want your spirit to exist and emanate from your manhood, then you have to conduct yourself appropriately in a manner that's respectful so that people will pay attention to you. This is the principles, the respect, and then the bag. And in this situation, the bag is the paying attention so that they can come into agreement. And that is a prosperity. Otherwise, you don't have prosperity in your own life. And you're actually Maybe not necessarily taking anything from anybody else, but again, in reference to the parable of the talents, if you've got a talent and you don't show it, no one's going to return it. So think about that.
The federal government guy, what's the 9/11, that thing they created, 9/11 or whatever the fuck it's called.
9/11 truth.
Yeah, that clown's I don't know what it's called. But anyway, I said, you can put me in front of the firing squad. I ain't going to comply. That's just the way it's going to be, man. And they got nothing to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I looked up my lineage, half my lineage. There's 3 families in existence. And the average age up to 100 years ago was 35. So I'm already there, coming up on it, right? You're double that.
Oh, yeah.
At what point do you just become a punk ass bitch for saying I'm double the age of the average life expectancy since the beginning of time, and I still won't do what's true and what's right, as if I haven't lived enough in this realm to see it all for what it is, and depart with dignity at some point if that's what the time comes. I mean,
and again, that part about recognizing the dignity is what I talk about. When somebody becomes a full-grown man, there are certain things that are just reason and logic. One of those is truth and lies, rights and wrongs. There are distinct differences, and everybody should know them by that age. So at the time I was 50 years old and my mother looked at me and said the police are my authority, I realized the concept in her life and how that was wrong. If I'd have recognized that sooner in my own self, and that was through the fear of going to jail, that alone gave them the power to take me to jail. And they had that power because I didn't have the power through knowledge. It takes a lot of discernment to figure this stuff out, but it's easy if you're guided spiritually for that discernment. And that's the thing that's lacking in our society when you send your children to a public education system, rather than giving freely the knowledge that you've been given so that they can then enhance it with their own experiences.
like, seriously, they're like, we're hanging on here as long as possible. We want to do 150 years in this slave hold and have no action and change in themselves and in the realm. That sounds like a nightmare.
Not me.
Right? You almost rather live a life 50, 60 years authentically than live double or triple that, just hanging on to some fucking illusion. Whether it's the body, a system, it's all, what do they call it? Mata, right? It's all illusion, man.
When you in the mirror and be happy with what you see. I don't know how you can do that.
Yeah, that's what EBT and them can't get from that experience. When you leave your body and come back and you change perspective and you start to live like how spiritual warriors have from the beginning of time, where martyrdom is the highest good, you're all too willing and ready to do what's true and what's right and pipe up, because the alternative is slavery to the demons, and you don't have that option.
No.
So, you start to see it as a game where the stakes are high, but there's really no other choice.
I think it's fun. You know the truth. It's kind of exhilarating and it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying my life more than I ever have in my whole entire life.
Oh, you're living fully, boy. You ain't supposed to do that.
Oh man,
you're supposed to do what we tell you.
Get back in the cage. You'll be happy when we tell you to be happy. Like the one guy, deputy said, jail's not supposed to be fun. Another fucking blanket that was cold.
They're even pissed when you're not pissed, right? Like if you're in jail and you're leveling up and you're somehow having a good time and getting better and becoming better and ministering, they're pissed that you're not pissed, because they come into jail every day in their own prison that they made outside, right? In their mind and heart and in their lifestyle. And then they're mad and they're like,
it was funny. I was sitting in jail this last time when I did that 60 days. I ended up doing 47. And during the final days of my jail stay, I was sitting there playing cards with a bunch of guys. And we're having a discussion about my case. And I brought up the point that one of the guys got on the stand and testified with great certainty that the quote marijuana that I was caught in possession with, which was about this much. So I put in my little bowl, is this tiny little bowl, bud. And he testified that it was marijuana and seeds. And me being comical, I had him bring up the evidence again to look at the evidence and retract his statement and amend it. And while we were in jail, while I was sitting at that card table discussing this, that came up. And the guy that testified on the stand was actually the monitor in the cell block. And he overheard me be discussing about it. And he told me I didn't need to be talking about that. I said, excuse me, you made a material statement of fact on and for a record. And if you have a problem with that, you should have kept your mouth shut. The guys at the table just couldn't believe I was talking to him like that. But the basis of it is that the communication has to be true and correct. And if you're stating true and correct things as it relates to the material facts and evidence, then nobody has the right to tell you to shut up. See, that's the thing, the premise of admissions in court. If there's an admission of a material fact that's evident on the face of the record, then they can't deny it. This is why how I've come to the comprehension that you present the facts as they are in agreement. That way, if anybody brings controversy, it's them. So in that process, and it's an astute process, you have to be witty and wise, and it takes practice. But when you're able to do that, what it does, like I said, it keeps the record as it is and amends it to a greater truth. And you do that by admitting the material facts and adding to them, rather than having to retract your statements and agree with the evidence. Again, in a new communication, you keep the communication. That's that green light of keeping things going. And you do so with caution, but you keep that green light going for them as well by adding the supplemental facts that will give them a yellow light to take heed. These are facts that you need to pay attention to that are, in fact, evident elsewhere, and I'm the source of origin. And as a source of origin in agreement with the material facts, there is no controversy yet. So when I add those supplemental facts of my point of view, my origins, and how I comprehend things, then there still is no disagreement unless they then turn around and disagree with me. Again, they being the ones that would be bringing controversy. It's a simple concept of Socratic debates, Socratic discussions. You use reason and logic and acceptances and dismissals. And if you dismiss something that can't be dismissed, then you're the one that brings the controversy. So think about that in regards to any research to do. Make sure that it's material facts that are evident. And that's what you can present. You're agreeing with the record. That's all you're doing. Quit arguing.
Like, why aren't you mad? You're in jail. I don't have to choose that experience because I'm here, right? I'm not a product of my environment. My environment's going to be influenced by me. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You're not going to trick me out of that experience in that position. Oh, so I'm going to be miserable the whole time I'm in jail and ruin my fucking experience? That makes no sense.
I was having fun. I was trying to tell other people about, stand up to these people. Did you do a loss of harm to anyone? And they all said no. And I said, well, then why are you getting a lawyer to represent you when you did no harm or loss? Get up in the court and say, well, where's the man or woman with a verifying claim that I caused harm or loss?
Bro, this guy was like in the Navy for a time, whatever. I'm not saying like he's a war veteran. I'm just saying he's considered a vet and he's 60 something and they're going to put him in jail for all this nonsense. One thing if you want to do it to me. So then when he's in there, they're like, hey, we're going to lock you in a cage by yourself for two weeks straight because you didn't have your blanket at the right place. So as soon as I hear that, I go get the head of the jail, right? He calls me, he comes over, we go down to his office and I start rapping with him. 20 minutes in, there's a mutual respect, and I already know I'm running that jail through him and my word and how I present. So he goes, we're going down there and unlock him. So I don't need to deal with these fucking people, right? I don't need to deal with Janice and Karen and whoever. I go right to the top, and I establish credibility as a man. And he goes, she did what? I said, yeah, she locked up a 65-year-old vet who's here standing on rights and freedoms. He didn't do no crime. Locked him up for some blanket nonsense, trying to keep him safe, right? Because she couldn't tell if he was dead or not, sleeping with a blanket covering the half the bunk. I said, you think that motherfucker cares if he dies in here or not? We're already here. It's what it is. We've accepted that. So you're going to lock him in and do inhumane torture to prove a point that he should be able to let them check to see if he's alive or dead. He shouldn't be in here to begin with. So what game are you playing, right? You know, she can't do that. I said, yeah, well, you could probably do whatever you want. Should you? You know? So immediately went down there and took him right out. Right. So that ended that. Just like it ended the strike in 20 minutes on my channel last time they did it. Do I have a way to be competent in every venue? Yes. Do I get results in every venue? Yes. Do I have to pop off and act like a jerk off? No, quite the opposite.
Hey, be honorable.
Yeah. And in synchronicity of that, I want to give my firsthand experience to the same concept. The last time they arrested me and threw me in that jail for 47 days, they had that same 2-week restriction on me in isolation because I was a sovereign citizen. Man, well, the officer that was watching, tending over me in that cell had communications with me, and in 2 days determined that I wasn't a threat. That was my open door to walk around the block openly, doing what I do, teaching people about what I know. And I walked around with the Bible and the Constitution.
Yeah, but we don't get our rights from the Bible or the Constitution.
No, but they concur. But they concur. They are two written records as witnesses that concur.
Yeah, these are just correlations. Any other man's written text and experience should be correlated with your own firsthand experience and understanding of self. You gain through certain processes and experiences. If you can't correlate firsthand experience with the written word, then you're not having that experience. You're just talking about what you think you know.
Right. That's when you truly know something, is when you go and do it and experience it. That's when you truly know.
And just so you know, God isn't mentioned in the Constitution. None of them.
I don't have any obligation to the Constitution.
Again, it's not an obligation to it. It's a matter of using it. It's a usufruct system, people. So you use their written material and show how it correlates. And it's an impossibility for you to follow certain things that they are demanding, because what is correlating is a command.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. It's their document that they have to follow.
Yeah, what he's saying is that a lot of these people run around and are yelling, "My Constitution, my Constitution," and they think there's some kind of power in that, and there's not. Right? It's like you're just using the Bible and the Constitution and other things to lay out an understanding that's been here since the beginning of time, that you ain't my daddy.
Yeah. Right. And the power is in the knowledge again. See, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Then in Isaiah 54:17, it says, no tongue shall prosper against you. You shall rise up against any word that places judgment and condemn that word. And that's why I say I'm not condemning the people. I'm condemning the words you use.
I don't need to be a constitutional or biblical scholar because my power doesn't come from that. Their power comes from that. So I'm going to use it and correlate it with my experience to bind them. I'm going to say, doesn't your Bible, as Smith says, the bisexual bull, I love when he does that whole rap. I don't know why. But doesn't your Bible say XYZ? Right. So we're standing on that today. You are. I just fluid and dynamic. I do whatever the fuck I want till I cause loss, injury, and harm. But you're bound and latched by these words and terms and experience that you all swear to. Right? You swear on a Bible and you swear to a constitution. I don't swear to none of that shit. Matter of fact, doesn't your Bible say to take no oaths or affirmations? So if you really want to be technical, I can't move forward with court and swear on a Bible because in the Bible it says don't swear on a Bible, stupid motherfucker. So you really want to get into this with me about all the shit that they say they follow, that they don't, and if you call them back to it, they can't move forward on you logically because it makes no fucking sense.
You tell me. Freedom from government, yes. And just so you know, promotion, non-promotion, bit, non-bit, there's a new site coming. Actually, it's an old site that's been transferred to a new conductor, let's call it.
How much are you going to pay me for whatever you're going to reveal here?
No,
How much am I?
it's freedom from government. Look them up, freedom from government. Let me see.
That's his alternate account.
freedomfromgovernment.org.
Do the
If you know
paperwork.
James Trent Goodbody. James Trent Goodbody is the one that puts out those plates and the IDs. And he's been doing it successfully for years. I read one of his books, Freedom from Government, many years ago, just before this all started. And I'm telling you, he knows what he's talking about. He's moving on to different things. So lawfulliving.com, the other site that I mention every now and then, Malika, the owner of that site, is now taking care of that site.
Not for nothing, Wizard. I'm trying to run my own cult here, and you're promoting other cults. What's up with that, man?
No, this is the drama cult. I'm just directing people, if you want to start learning how to enforce your word, that's one of those platforms we're working on to do that.
Why are you not doing that here and promoting people go somewhere else to get whatever it is that we have?
Because all of this with the Postal Service is part of it. I guarantee you.
Oh, you want to play postal games?
Whatever
Yeah, I
happened
don't
to
want to
that
go
guy, Chris?
postal.
Jeremiah 31:51. One post shall run to
Turn
another.
himself
post.
into a agent.
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes. I'm not making gingerbread stamps and paying bills with them. And I'm not fucking using the post office coward to try to enforce law. I don't think it's going to happen.
Okay. Jeremiah 31:51. One post shall run to another post. That's a verbal action. Messenger to messenger, because you've got something to put on the table as a message. Shall run from messenger to messenger, shooing unto the king of Babylon, showing him the knowledge that his city is fallen at the other end. Giving up the municipality of the resident, because you are not a resident of the municipality.
Keep playing with them stamps that you're making in the basement. Talcott's going to put you in federal prison. Just keep doing it.
That registered you under a mayoral form of government on a county register in a foreign trade zone.
I'm not telling you. I don't understand what you're saying. You know what I'm saying. These folks have basically declared war on everybody. The post office, the state nationals, sovereign citizens, drugs, people who use them, everyone. So you're kind of in a sticky situation where you have to, again, this is personal preference. I will use the post office as a witness at times and for a way to do process and procedure. As far as them executing anything, I mean, what's their executive power exactly? Like other than administrative, on keeping a record. I don't know. I mean, maybe you have some remedy and relief that I just haven't experienced that these people adhere to, because it seems to me all these people are corrupt, don't know what their power and position actually is, and you almost have to teach them how to do their job again every step of the way. It's just completely ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. I guess if you want to do that, maybe that's what needs to be done. We have to open a training camp for servants and teach them with their own codes how to do service and move products without taking everybody's rights and freedom. I don't know.
Wizard's typing and thinking.
He's
While
looking up
doing that,
postal code now.
yeah,
It
while he's
says
doing
right there, 35.6, that I can film within 3 inches of this of this weigh scale. And it's like, and they go, we don't care. They go, we don't care. I've had the local police tell me, we don't care about federal law and code. I go, isn't that special?
Yeah, they did say that.
Hey, what do you say to that exactly? Other than that, I guess I'll contact the federal authorities and hope that they investigate you and shut you down, which I do, but good luck.
Yeah.
we do things differently around here, boy.
This is
listen to them
slavery and
kids.
genocide. I don't know what kind of ideas you have.
Constitution, what's that? We don't
He
know
says he's going to smoke weed and travel freely. Oh man, we got one here.
Yeah, Cletus. Get him in there.
Jeez, boy.
And he
Give him a
sounds
taste,
like
boy.
one of them Negroes from back east. He's one of them Wigger boys from back east that sounds like the Negroes and wears loose pants. Yeah, we gonna slave him.
What? Get that cake, boy.
Your body came off, Cletus.
What do you say to that when they say we don't follow federal code, Constitution, that? Tell them I know. I know.
say do your
Hold
work
on.
because I'm going to hold you liable. Do your work. Do me a favor and put me in the fucking cage. Okay?
Okay, continue
That's what
being
I
a
say.
belligerent.
Do me a favor.
Continue being a belligerent.
Do me a favor.
Continue being a belligerent.
This is where he hands the
That's not
administrator a
belligerent.
stamp.
I'm saying do your
Continue
work.
being a
Did you-
belligerent.
Go for it.
Bailiff, will you retrieve the
challenging
stamp?
You're challenging them.
I'm saying do
Don't.
what you're going to do.
Listen.
I'm not going to comply with anything you say, so do what you're going to do. Then they get confused. They don't know what to do then. Oh, he's not
Okay.
scared.
Can I go on with this, or are you gonna say what I have intended to say?
What are you going to say? Say it.
Well, please shut up then.
All right.
Article 10 of the Lieber Code. When they tell you they don't give a fuck about that Constitution and the federal code and all that, Article 10, great, because that would agree with the martial law. Martial law affects chiefly the police and collection of public revenue and taxes, whether imposed by the expelled government or by the invader, and refers, it's a reference mainly to the support and efficiency of the Army, its safety, and the safety of its operations.
I'm gonna go to lunch.
32
The post office guy.
32 CFR 1602.4. Area office. The selective service is responsible for all operations and administrations in the area of the board or boards within its jurisdiction. So any board operating under any commission is in the jurisdiction of the selective service. I yield. That administrative office has a courthouse, and in that courthouse, it flies a flag with a golden fringe.
Yeah, that's admiral law.
Yes.
Law.
Yeah.
That's foreign.
Law of nations, the law of the sea, where in the inland, the post offices are inland marine installations to transfer the marine law, law of nations, law of the sea.
Hold on a second. Why does this person think that we, and when I say we, I'm going to speak for me, oddly enough, that I or anyone here even supports QAnus? Right? Well, because you heard us talking rights and freedom and law, we must be like Trump tards and Q tards. Another presumption revealing who and what you are. A dumbass.
Because we
How
know
surprising.
they label everybody. Everybody's got a fucking label.
Yeah, that's how the chimpanzee navigates through life. It labels something and then sticks to it in order to understand it, even if it's completely wrong.
Everything's got to have a fucking label. They wrote that on my rest report. Sovereign citizen. They don't even know what the fuck that means.
And when they say you don't recognize the government, you rebut that by showing them how you recognize the government. Because as I said, even City Hall gives you 3 minutes. It's a parliamentary rule. Remember, the Universal Postal Union, its sister organization on the international level, is the International Parliamentary Union.
All right. Well, my counsel, you get 30 seconds max. There's no 3 minutes.
I just did it in 30.
Slavery. I accepted that. Slavery is ramping up, and I don't have 3 minutes for every slave to give me their thoughts and feelings and opinions. You should be able to get it done in a quick 30 or less. Who and what you are, what you're not, what you're going to do and not do. It's simple.
He disappeared.
He's a wizard in a puff of snow because it's disappeared.
He was an entity and he disappeared.
That's why wizards in all caps. He's not recognized as a man.
He's a corporate wizard.
Hey, wizard, are you even real, man? Or are you just some kind of corporate entity? Some kind of person?
I don't want to be a slave anymore.
I really hate fiat. We should end the banking system. Hey, did that 300 come yet from social services? I got to figure out how I'm going to pay a third of my mortgage this month.
Yeah,
man, you're an idiot. There's so many dumb people in this world, right?
Are you imagining disagreements because my 300 didn't hit my account yet?
All right, it's just us. Can we be a little egoic, please? I have a image to keep here. Do you know how many dumb people there are in the world that I have to deal with, apparently? But that's become my role and job. I do, but I don't.
Slaves coming on board so you can cut them down to size and show them how stupid they are?
Yeah, but where does it go, man? Slavery and genocide for everybody. I mean, how fun really is it?
Well, it's gone that way anyway because there's not a whole lot to stop it.
I enjoy the process of knowing I'm not a complete loser failure anymore, like the rest of these people. But that fades very quickly when you realize we're going to slavery and genocide together.
I too enjoy that. I too enjoy the knowing of my freedom, and it's standing 7 years now where I have not been accosted. I've had to deal with various different factors, and I've dealt with them in a different way. So again, it's God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know that's me. So again, it goes back to accepting what is and enhancing it. So as I was before, belligerent and everything, and like I said, I got to give thanks to Jack for the issues between him and I that helped me see some of the things he was pointing out as detrimental in the view of not just Jack but other people. And in order for me to come in agreement with them, I have to show an enhancement. So I use Jack's situation between Jack and I to help show everybody else that I am improving. And I hope you all see that.
Well, doesn't have quite the same impact. The position of leadership.
Can only do the best you can do.
They're looking for a link.
Link. All right, let's do unslavious court. Simulation for slave that comes from. Oh, I got to change my moniker to honorable because if you're going to be a judge, you got to put honorable before your name, regardless of what you're about to do. Like just whatever I'm about to do, I'm going to put that in front of me.
I'm gonna make some room on the panel. Thanks for letting me stand here.
You just want to leave, bro. Don't do all that polite shit. Say, hey, I want to go.
Say.
I'm over it. There's room on the panel, man. Don't do that.
Okay.
You want to leave?
I don't say a lot, but
no, that's cool. We like you here, Julian. You're taking up a spot for a miscreant to not be here, so that's a service.
Oh, in the car?
Every spot that someone takes up, that leaves it not free for a miscreant. Interfere.
Next slave.
All right, calling forth GKT entity person non-man number 666. GKT, is that you, sir?
Ladies.
Perfect. I already slaved him up and got him in my jurisdiction. I called out and he answered. Could you come forth? I'm going to be really polite till I don't have to be. Sir, you're feeding back. We went over this the other day. Were you not able to manage your equipment again? Huh? Did you prepare the cell, bailiff? Hey, GKT, are you there, sir?
I'm here, buddy.
Why are we feeding back, sir, again? It's been every time.
I don't know what you're talking about. Feedback. I mean, background
Can you
noise or
close the
feedback.
window?
I think
No,
Romero or hold on.
You're blaming other people now. That's mute
Hey,
up
Paul,
and close. Mute up and close the other YouTube window. When you go to StreamYard, it leaves YouTube open and you have to close YouTube.
Yeah, no, I know about that. I mean, my YouTube's closed. Check it out. It's closed. Can you hear me now?
I can hear me on your end.
Oh, because I don't have my headphones in, bro. My headphones.
Did you get some headphones?
Can I just? How about you stop talking for a second? Let me just ask the question, and then you can speak.
How
And
about
I'll
I can't
mute.
have a conversation with you because the audio's off?
Echo.
How about the
Okay,
fact
that's
that you
fine.
already
Can
tried to
I just
blame?
ask you a question? Hey, no, just honestly, can I just ask one question, please, sir? Hey,
No. You already showed within 30 seconds your bad faith and dishonorable because you went to reach and blame the person called Ramiro for your feedback that happens over and over again. That's a bad faith quality, dishonorable quality. It's not.
I'd just like to give a caveat here real quick. My apologies for the aggressive sounds coming up.
Anyone else's fault, it's yours. Please get the damn headphones if you want to have an interaction with me. Is that understood, sir?
understood, but unfortunately, I don't have the headphones. They're broken. My child cut it, and so what I was just coming up to say, hey, Paul, I had a good little talk with you yesterday. I told you I'm going to be chill, and I think what's his name? The old guy with the ponytail brought up a good point about that. Yeah, this guy right here, Wizard, right? Okay, so what I was going to ask you guys is, so under a declaration of an emergency, I was told that FEMA has more power than the federal government, and FEMA does have a second sitting government underground, and that when there is a declaration of emergency, which we are under still to this day due to the coronavirus, and we have been multiple times, how do our rights and privileges, or just our God-given rights, still? How does that all work, in your opinion? That's just my question.
Like I said, martial law chiefly affects the police and the collection of public revenue and taxes. If you're not involved in that, then you have to make a declaration that you're one of the peaceful inhabitants under an armistice, Article 139 of the Lieber Code.
Okay, and if you do not make that peaceful declaration, are we all subject to FEMA's control and rules, and the Constitution is basically unacknowledged at that point, and it's basically due to emergency, we are going through and going to have to be put in new procedures and all that?
Because you're considered a volunteer that's willing to stay with your prisoners, your fellow prisoners. You're free, but you're volunteering to stay. You have to make a declaration that you're not going to stay associated with their war. You are ordered to combat under a force majeure.
Right, but it doesn't necessarily have to do with combat in general. Sorry, guys.
It has to do with declaration.
All right, sorry. Give me 1 minute. My son's breaking down my door. He's got to pee. I'm hiding in the bathroom. You'd understand it. I told you the situation. You guys would understand. But yeah, my son's in the hospital, so we're staying at the Ronald McDonald Charity House because my newborn's in the hospital right now. So we're kind of stuck in one room. So forgive me for all the noise and nonsense going on. It's not normal. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry, guys.
So
Praise God. Jeebus, take the wheel. Wizard, you want to take over? I might have to go to the back. I don't know if I could do this broadcast. I shouldn't have done this broadcast. Really have no business being here at this point.
There are many
ahead.
ways to say the same thing. This is letting no tongue prosper against you. This is knowing the different ways that it's said and condemning any word that would rise up and get in judgment against you. This is the inheritance of the servants of the Lord, and their righteousness is of me. So when you learn how to correlate their laws by stating that the Treaty of Berne, which is the protection of literary and artistic work, I remind them of the Father which art in heaven, and the scriptures that were written and bound together first and foremost, long before their 8 million.
Okay, I understand. So what we do is fall back onto the Bible then and not actually state anything from the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. It's more to fall back towards the Bible.
You won't listen. You're not listening, and you won't listen.
No, I get the gist of what you're saying, bro. It's just I'm trying to.
You won't let me finish.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
So when you learn how to help them understand that the Uniform Commercial Code, the state statute, the federal code, the union's customs codes, another UCC. There's 2 sets of UCCs. And the international parliament, when you let them know that you know how that system works, you let them know. And that is all based on my yea is my yea and my nay is my nay. And as I theorize, in other words, when I put the oration into verbal action, whether it be spoken or written, it comes with credence. And that is our Father which art in heaven. I use his words exclusively, and I show them how their subject words correlate.
Okay, and have you done that then?
And how they don't correlate as they use them.
Okay, have you went forward since the emergency declaration and provided that, or do you have any examples of that? And is there anywhere I can find that? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Or
I have been for 7 years. And
I'm not questioning that, bro. I'm not just. Please, I'm not asking about.
I'm trying to tell you the answer to your question.
Bro, the guillotines and the underground tunnels, Wizard. The guillotines and underground tunnels.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm not trying to upset you guys. I wish everybody would just calm down a little bit, man. I have ADHD, bro. I can't listen to the whole spill when I got 1,000 different questions popping in my mind. You know, it's like I want answers. Bro, chill out. It's all good, Wizard. Chill. You guys need to chill. Why are you so angry, bro? What's wrong with you? Stop.
Give me more answers I can't take.
So when somebody insists on asking a question and then interrupts you while answering that question, asking you where he can find that, and you show him that you can find it right here. I'm holding it. It's the culmination of 7 years of work. And then he tells you that he doesn't have time to listen. That's fine. Leave. Go do your research. I am telling you not to listen to me, not to have belief in me. If you hear me say stuff, you can hear it and do your own research. That way, you can come to an agreement or come with a rebuttal or come with a greater truth. Somewhere along the line, it has to be your responsibility. It is not mine or anyone else's. Period. Just told me that you don't have time to listen. So shut the fuck up or leave.
Whoa.
Go ahead, sir. Let me. I'm sorry. I thought you were finished, but go ahead. I was just asking a question. I thought you were finished.
ADHD.
So you interrupted me while I was answering, insisting I wasn't answering your fucking question.
Okay, go ahead. Finish now.
Ask your question again.
What?
Please ask your question again.
Which one? The first one or the number 2 or number 3? I mean, I don't know which one you're talking about.
This thing is fucking up.
The first question was about the FEMA thing, right? The second question was, I believe, like, I was asking you, have you actually declared that in the court? And what court do you go to declare that? Now, I know you're showing me that. That's what I'm just asking you, bro. Chill. And where do you go to actually submit that paperwork to? Who is the official that you would be submitting to? I mean, I guess you guys don't like questions around here.
And I'm
Okay, that was number. You don't like opinions. That was question number 2. I have.
And again, it's not that we don't like questions. I love questions. I love being able to give good, solid, proper answers too. The thing I don't like is when people interrupt or tell me they ain't got time to listen, particularly when they're new to the platform and they don't know me and haven't done their research, particularly on me, when I'm the one that they're asking the question of. So if you're going to ask a question of somebody and they try to give you an answer and you interrupt them, you really don't want anything from them. No matter what your excuse is, especially if it's, I ain't got time to listen. That's the problem all of your life. You are listening to things that people believe, and then you say you don't have time to listen. That and that supports the concept that your whole life is nothing but a belief. Your whole life is nothing but a belief. I urge you to quit it. I urge you to learn how to do your research and learn the material facts so you can present them as they are in an agreement. And as this man was trying to figure out, is there's one source that you report this stuff. If you're looking for one source, you go to the original source, and that's seeking your counsel in your Father. That seems to be everybody's first question. Who are you going to notify? Fine. Notify whoever you want. But make sure the first one you notify is the one that started it all. When you turn around and ask somebody a question for that source and they're trying to show you that source and you interrupt them, then you really don't want the source. And that's what tells me you don't seek counsel.
One more, if you don't mind. I mean, I'll listen.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay, let me answer number 2 because I already answered number 1. So your question is how to go about it and who I'm noticing. I'm showing you. I've got a culmination of this right here that I'm currently trying to present of 7 years of research. And it includes a lot more than this. As it is now, like I said, let no tongue prosper against you. Rise up against any word that would place judgment against you and condemn it. This means, like I said before, you have to correlate throughout the jurisdictions the like wording. So you have to learn the different jurisdictions. In that, when I make the presentment, it's a shotgun blast to every motherfucker in this world that thinks they've got authority over me. the Director General of the International Bureau, the International Parliamentary Union, the Universal Postal Union, the UN, the Director General of the International Postal Union, Swiss, the Bern Swiss Confederacy, the whole 9 yards, all the way down. Because I am a prophet unto the nation. I am not I am not a resident. I was born a prophet unto the nation.
Amen, brother. Amen. God bless. I agree.
Then use that word against them, because they're the ones that.
Well, see, that's what I'm trying to do, and I'm just trying to figure out how to navigate this whole process, right? So, hey, I agree with that 100%. God bless. So so you're going to submit it to UN and all them and do all that. You haven't yet, like you said, but so what I'm trying to figure out. So you agree with the fact that under the state of emergency that we are currently in, that we do lose a lot of our constitutional rights, and we do have FEMA kind of running the show, and that we do not. Okay, do you agree
that a majority, an insane majority of the world's population have a popular opinion that that is so, and that is the problem. And my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. So when they profess a national emergency, again, it may be an emergency to the nation, but it's not an emergency to me. I can help fix that emergency as a prophet unto the nations by sharing the knowledge. Physician, heal thyself. If it's physician, heal thyself, then why is everybody going to a doctor? Because they don't know how to heal thyself. They don't know that they are a doctor once they become learned. Doctor meaning teacher. So if you're going to a doctor, is he healing you as a physician, but professing to be a doctor? They are distinct, different things. And like I said, this government has a corporate structure that says in order to be organized under the laws of that, you have to be an oath taker or an official or an agent of that oath taker. But the doctor takes a Hippocratic oath to Apollo and the Greek gods. That should be enough material facts alone to admit the statements of facts of material evidence that proves an impossibility. This is an admission that they must admit that includes an impossibility. As I'm a living soul born unto the nations as a prophet, so sanctified and ordained by the one who knew me before he formed me in my mother's belly, before I was cast from her womb as a man, and taking that first breath of life that he breathed in my nostrils, wherein I became a living soul. This is the discrepancy between the general journal and the general ledger. And just because I have this knowledge doesn't mean I'm wrong. And just because there's a popular opinion doesn't mean it's right.
I'm not saying you're wrong, bro. And I don't know why you're so angry right now. I mean, I'm being cool, peaceful, and calm.
Dumbass.
I'm down a little bit, but what I was just going to say next is, but under a state of emergency is for the people that aren't awake. Like, okay, Wizard.
I would love to fucking see you face to face.
I'm talking about the slave population, right? The normal citizens. Do you not Do you not recognize that under
Just
state of
because you have a mouth doesn't mean you have to fucking use it.
Do you not recognize that under a state of emergency that the normal citizens, that people that fall under the system, they're not legal? Do you know?
When you shut up, you'll understand.
You don't know you don't know the words. The resident citizen are fictions.
I get that, but most people are those fictions.
Did you catch that, folks? Those people are those fictions. Again, the material evidence will show that based upon a general journal and the entrance into a general ledger as a resident at the enumeration at birth is an impossibility. So as you continue using the term resident and you are applying it to yourself and everybody else, you show me and others like me that you are babbling and don't know the words and terms you're using. The material facts that I've uncovered, discovered throughout my research and have put forth are material facts that you have to learn how to agree with. So one of those material facts in evidence, 19 U.S. Code 810, resident. No person shall reside within the zone being a foreign trade zone, except means there's an exception. Federal, state, or municipal officers whose resident presence is deemed necessary by the board. The board being the Secretary of Commerce, acting as the executive chair, and the Secretary of State. There's a conflict of position. The municipality where the record originated is fundamental. That's where the funds originated. The board, being located elsewhere, couldn't have possibly taken in the information, all of the information from the prenatal record and mom and dad's records, to do the proper investigation to make sure that the information, as mom was the informant in an investment, which is the creation of that general ledger from the general journal, that was never deemed necessary.
Okay, most people that we live with are those fictions, and if you read the actual titles and statutes and what happens under a state of emergency, it will tell you that the fact that FEMA will actually take control under a state of emergency. And you know, FEMA does have a second sitting government, unelected, by the way, underground in a bunker at all times, just due to, you know, somebody was get blown up and do all that, everybody was be wiped away. So I'm saying, are you guys aware of all this, acknowledging it? Are you aware of the state of emergency?
I'm not aware of any of it.
I mean, you guys
This
are
guy
all,
was molded
bro,
by the fear.
I'm actually trying to just ask for some knowledge here. You guys are all worked up with your panties in a bunch for no reason. Dude, stop screaming. Yeah, tell him, Jack. This guy's just screaming like a little baby, bro. Chill out and just have a conversation, man. I'm being cool. I'm just asking questions. You guys want to inform people. You did all the research. Why don't you actually try to help a brother out, man? You're not trying to help.
Oh, I'm going to. And I'll point out that this is very disturbing. You'll find out I asked him a little bit later if he was Jack's son, because this is the exact same thing I get from Jack. I gave him information that was very helpful, material facts in evidence. And he says I didn't give him anything. The exact same thing this man is saying. You offer information, then never give it. See, the information he's looking for is the one source to notice, because he ain't got time to do the research so he can figure out everybody he needs to notice in accordance to his situation. He wants to use my situation as if though it's his and find out who the one that I am communicating with to give notice. And that's impossible because I'm not. And my situation is, in fact, totally different from his as far as the fundamental elements are concerned.
You're trying to be angry.
I'm going to give you answers I don't have. That's fucking insane, you fucking idiot.
Then just say you don't know, bro. Then just say you don't know. That's what. When I don't have answers to a question, I don't.
And again, I gave him everything that I know and that I'm doing. And he wants me to say, I don't know. No, I don't know the answer to your question. I never will. But the information I'm providing is the things that I know. What don't you get? I am trying to show you.
Oh, okay, well then just say, hey, I'm not 100% finished with my conclusion of how I
do you remember the part of this
interpret all these things. Instead of actually just saying a whole spiel, why don't you say, hey, I'm not done with my conclusion of how I interpret it.
Is this thing on? I hear myself feeding back still on your end, so it must be. Remember the part of this conversation where I told you to get your fucking headset and you told me you didn't have it and you just wanted to ask a question? And we're 5 minutes into a ridiculous interaction now where most of us are feeding back on your end.
My bad. I was trying to mute myself and just speak when I was speaking and mute when everybody else was speaking. It's just I don't know how you can get feedback when I'm muting during the time that everybody else is speaking, and then when I.
Are you Jack's son?
Oh hell no!
You sure?
I'm Jack's daddy.
Because you just accused me of not giving you any information. You just sat there and fucking continuously interrupted.
I didn't say you didn't give me any information. I said you. I said
you're feeding back.
No, you said that you don't feed back.
You're feeding back. We can't stand it. You also happen to be a moron.
Why's that?
Because you continue to speak to us while feeding back when I told you from the beginning to be competent, and you're incompetent. I
don't have headphones. What am I supposed to do if I wanted to ask a question? I'm going to ask the question.
Get the fuck out and go to the donut and get headphones.
Boot me out, bitch.
There you go. Belligerent child.
Oh, keep talking shit. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I don't have headphones. I don't have headphones. If you don't want me here, then boot me out.
Right now. I don't have headphones, but I still want what I want right now. Boot me.
I don't want anything. I was just trying to come on. You guys want me here.
That is the epitome of an addict. Ask me. I know. I'm asking everybody to have patience. There is no state of emergency. If you think you are in danger, it's because you don't seek the right knowledge. Again, do not seek that from another man. Do your research and seek counsel in your spirit. Know thyself. Heal thyself.
obviously, or you would have booted me. You want me here. And the matter of fact is, I think this is what you want. You want a screaming, yelling match. You want
to get a pair of fucking headphones, you moron, while your kids run your house. I heard your children stomping around, bashing down doors, running the house. You can't even govern yourself, your own affairs, and the damn children. You want to come on this broadcast and ask how to be a man. Start with getting a pair of headphones. We'll go from there.
That's so funny, bro. I'm not even at my house for one. And my kids came into my bathroom. It's so funny. You keep telling me, bro, I'm a real man. I actually have kids. Unlike you, don't even have kids, so you wouldn't know about managing a house at all. Let me teach you about that someday, because I actually have children. They're awesome, bro, and I handle that shit like a real man, you know what I'm saying? And I appreciate every moment of it. But you can tell me what I do and don't do. My kids got to go to the bathroom, and I'm giving them a little space because we're staying at a charity house because my son's in the hospital, so we're close to the hospital now.
Folks, I'm going to tell you from firsthand experience. Running your house is synonymous with running a business. Running your house, you have to have a balance sheet. Life itself is going to put you on trial. That balance sheet has to have something in there as a store. In doing that, in managing all of that stuff, you have to be able to be your own secretary. See, this is a phase of development. Nobody goes into business having it all. Secretary, all that. And if they do, and they don't know how to do that stuff themselves, those other people in that very business will destroy you. Same thing with a house. If you don't know how to manage all of the affairs of the house as the head of the house, even your own children will destroy you.
Actually have a 4-bedroom house at home that I rent. Yeah, so you know what? I'm doing a lot, and I'm not going to be downgraded. You can call me all the names, do whatever you want.
What's your son in the hospital for, sir?
Why does it matter? He had to have heart surgery, a newborn, by the way. So if you want to know.
So you had a newborn, and the newborn had to have heart surgery?
Correct.
Was there
Yeah, so you guys can talk all this shit. Doesn't really affect me, bro. I got bigger issues to deal with. We're not vaxxed. We're not vaxxed. None of us are vaxxed.
No. You're presuming. You're talking about things I didn't ask you about that are putting broadcast in jeopardy now.
Trying to puff his chest full of other men, and yet your child's in the hospital having heart surgery.
And I can't ask a question without him jeopardizing a broadcast, because I want to know if there was any drugs and alcohol use during the pregnancy.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever. You guys can make assumptions, and I know you guys are going to.
I didn't make an assumption. This is why you'll fail in court, and I won't even tell you how to do anything. I'd be a fool to try. You're wasting all of our time, and I'm not going to tell you how to do anything. Figure it out on your own, because you ain't listening anyway.
And can I?
So I didn't make an assumption. If assumption sounds a lot like this, children, you did drugs and alcohol during a pregnancy. Me asking a question sounds like, did you do any drugs and alcohol during the pregnancy? That's not an assumption. That's a question.
And I've got a firsthand experience, not as an assumption, but as a correlation and a comparison, because I've got a nephew that went through the same thing. And it's actually part of the process that they do the test to see if mom was induced in that labor. And the long history, my nephew grew up very slowly. But once the issue was finally corrected in his later age, he started sprouting. I have firsthand experience. So we're not up here trying to make any accusations, brother. We're trying to inform you. The very thing that you accused us of not doing.
He presumes also, and I don't presume one way or no. I'm not in the situation, and I wouldn't speak in arrogance from an experience I haven't had. But he presumes that everybody objectively would just do whatever they said. Right? I might be someone who rolls the dice. Says you're telling me this about this child, and I'm going to have faith that it's going to be what it needs to be, or whatever's going to happen is going to happen. So I wouldn't necessarily just, no matter what the conditions are, just go ahead and let them open that child up and work on their heart. That's just me. I can't tell anyone else how to perceive, and I wouldn't if I could. But, usually there's more to the story is what I found. Usually when you find somebody who's completely incompetent, they've mated with someone who's completely incompetent, and their life tends to reflect that. Drugs, alcohol, poor choices, right? And if they're not willing to listen about that, their chances are they're even worse off. Because I was one of those people in certain ways, but the difference is at some point I became willing to listen and rectify and resolve the situation. And through awareness, right? The only way you change something is becoming aware of it. So you have to expand your consciousness and awareness, I guess you could say, of self and others.
Also, you can convince those doctors to let you put on some scrubs and a mask and be there with your son 24/7. He's your creation. There are many parents out there that refuse any fucking thing medical if they're not right by their side. And I promise you, they'll dress you up, scrub you down if you wanted to be there.
Go ahead, Snafu Snaps. Are you willing to contribute anything for the Tuesday Gorilla giveaway? To allow me to continue to live and not be broke and poor and homeless? Tariq contributed something. You have an opportunity to save a white gorilla today, which is an endangered species.
I always will, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, the white gorilla is a endangered species. There's few, if any, roaming the lands nowadays, so they must be protected and provided for, regardless of the accusations of grifting and not grifting. He's not contributing anything, he said. He answered, he shook his head no.
It's sad they don't.
A white gorilla might have to die because Snafu Snaps and others chose not to contribute in support to its livelihood. Gorilla might have to go to an enclosure at some point as well.
No, you won't. You have people behind you.
To be kept safe and to have testing done on it. Snafu Snaps, would you like to donate to the White Gorilla Foundation today with your Starbucks?
You shouldn't even have to ask, Paul.
No, I want Snafu Snaps to answer. Snafu Snaps, would you choose to round up your order today and donate to the White Gorilla Foundation?
He won't. He won't.
He won't.
He's a cheap motherfucker.
It costs nothing to hate, right?
He's like Talcott.
Costs nothing but your soul to hate, so you're good.
Yeah.
Yo, that dude triggered the shit out of me.
Yeah, just like
triggered, man.
Oh yeah.
I mean, just like Paul said yesterday.
What were you saying?
I said just like yesterday with Talcott, we couldn't even have a conversation because he's so triggered.
You want to trigger him again today or what? He's on.
Oh yeah, I'm down.
All right, let's go. But you don't mind when I do the thing of send you over and then pretend like I have no idea why you're there?
No, I'll do it myself. No.
Yeah. Like I go over there and I go, "What's this?"
This next part is fucking comedy. The very thing we just got done discussing about Mike and stuff. Watch what happens on Jax.
What's this guy doing here, Talcott? Why is he doing all this? I immediately told you to go over right before.
He's gonna say you're looping and all that shit, but that's okay.
Well, you're a Paul loyalist, like all the rest here.
Yeah.
You're culted up. The optics are high. You've bent your knee.
The optics are high.
Yeah, you've bent your knee, man. You're in bed with a pogo, essentially. All right, let's see what Talcott.
Paul, they just don't get it.
What is this? He's done already?
No, I'm saying that they just don't get it.
I'm saying he's done. He signed off already.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. He put in his time. He gave you an hour of his precious time. So you should be thankful of that. Optics high.
Did he have a panel?
Snaps. Like we can't find a middle ground between you being dead silent and screaming and yelling, cycling constantly. You just can't contribute to any conversation in normal fashion.
Yeah, it's like you can't even have a conversation. That's all.
Carrot, shut the fuck up. Now, what'd you say, Paul?
What the fuck?
I'm saying, Snafu Snaps, can't you contribute to the conversation in some way without yelling, screaming, and cycling, or just?
Yeah, I was letting Wizard do that today.
Hold on, Rob Cleveland, 777 pieces of four-ply, number counting. That must be divine. Julian Barbary, 3 pieces of four-ply. I'm doing good today, Snafu, on the grift. I'm making somewhere around $3 an hour. So if I keep this up, I'm I'll really be there with Antoine. We'll really be bagged out, rubbing skating cream on each other, just kind of partying.
It's happening. It's happening.
Hey,
I see it.
Some of that Trey Jolie and rub it on my back. I don't know why. I'm just feeling successful. Might look gay. It's like one of those puffy parties, right? One of them P. Diddy parties. Might look gay, but this is what success looks like.
It'll wait till a decade, then it'll come out.
They're now saying Puffy's fucking everyone there at them parties. They're all coming
Everybody, dude.
They're all saying Puffy tried to fuck me. Every one of these famous people who's been around him, they're like, yeah, he's definitely tried to fuck us one night when he was drunk at a party. So. Whatever. Pogo optics are high.
It definitely might have happened, they say.
Yeah, and Monograph's probably in on that, if I had to guess.
Well, that's why Mel Gibson's all over it, bro. Hey, that's why One-Eyed Mel's all over it, man.
There's no denying that. For the longest time, I denied the level of the height of the optics. I can no longer do that. And I have to credit you for that somewhat, right? If it wasn't for you being here, just kind of screaming out pedo pogo Marfugel for a year straight, I wouldn't have seen the breadth and the depth of this simulation. So I appreciate you, sir, in your own way, but I think that we've got it under control now. It's a little bit better.
Things are level,
right?
Yeah. Well, yes, sir. Things are leveled right now. The optics are high.
All right, and that's not going to change, man. The optics are going to be sky high through the roof. We don't expect them dropping anytime soon, and we can respond accordingly. Thoughts expert panel in general. I'm going to go to break and slave news. Snafu Snaps is dropping truth bombs here. Nobody's really got anything to say. You can't handle them. Why try?
Oh my god! Snapper, wait. Why can't you show your face?
What did he say?
I said, why can't you show your face?
He did for a second. He's shown his face a lot before.
Oh, he did? I didn't see it.
You don't want to see it.
Why?
All right, Snafu, do it.
Let's just say he's the founder of a new app called Homely Fans.
Oh,
and that's
my
HOMELY.
Yep. I've been dropping your truth on some, not your truth, but the truth that you provide on some Amish fellows. And they're like, God damn. God damn.
Hey, you want to fuck our daughter or what? But all that stuff you're talking sounds right to me. How about you fuck our daughter? Because the only other option is a filthy slave out here. That's all we can really see. You might talk your way into some good Amish pussy, Thomas, if, you stick with rights, freedom, and principles.
Nah, you can't fuck Amish people unless they leave or you join them.
Well, I guess I'm Amish then, huh? Go get me a hat and 5X slacks to get this party started.
Nah, it started working for a different company that's using me a little bit more, using me.
Amish got
in
that wet,
different ways.
Tom.
But they hire Amish people. They're cool. Real Southern boys. I walk in and there's guns on the fucking counter. It's cool shit on a farm.
Is that Avatar Timmy, the female version of you, dude? What the fuck?
That's AI, Timmy. It's very androgynous.
It must have read emotions, female. It must be able to read who you are as a source.
It's like a gray alien. Androgynous.
Provide lobotomy number 2 for Snafu ASAP. When would you like your appointment?
Looks like you got lipstick on your fucking lips in the avatar, dude. Looks like you're all feminized. Well, you are feminized, so the AI got it right. The AI got it
at
right.
a photo studio.
What does Timmy look like? A girl that wouldn't fuck
you in all my profile pics.
I'm about to uncupcake it on Timmy.
Hang on, let me get my better picture that shows me who I really am. There we go.
There we go. That's more like
wearing
it.
a mask?
Oh
Yeah,
my
I had to take care of business. I didn't take the jab web. I wore a mask. I flew on a plane. I got to take care of business. Handled my shit.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out if breathing air was correct or not.
I still look more male than you would ever look wearing that
Hey,
fucking.
hold on, I gotta talk to Snafu.
mask.
Snap, he's full screen. Hey, Snafu, where in the Bible that you always quote does it say that you should cover your face like an infidel slave?
Hey, Paul, you're a
Probably Paul and Slavia, chapter 3, verse.
Hey, where does it say you should
16?
idol worship and wear "Make America Great Again" hats like in the other picture where you were worshiping Donnie?
Probably where
worship
my
him.
Paul and Slavia cult T-shirt is going to be sitting for when I buy it. I have a
You know
special
what's
place for it.
amazing,
Just
man?
like
This
the
is
Trump
just to show
hat.
you who do,
I have
right?
a Paul and Slavia spot on my rack.
I got 10 million viral video on flatearth.com. Z's fit home base, by the way. So, 40,000 after the fact on the other videos. People begging me for merchandise, and I haven't put out a thing yet.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm trying to fucking help you.
Don't talk. I should have kept you silent. Why did I ever ask you to talk? Silent Snafu snaps is better. You're right. Grass is greener. When you were fucking silent, I wanted you to talk again. You've talked again. I want you silent. So I haven't put out a fucking piece of merchandise yet, but I'm grifting so fucking hard. You know who did put out a shirt? Cockbody Outline. Because he's such a leader and a hero and really on the ground guy and true to his information. He's somebody you really want to follow and support. So you get your Cockbody Outline shirts. You can walk around the mall and people can really know you're a douchebag slave. Am I right? Jessica, Jane, and the rest? You guys are pathetic and embarrassing.
I told you if you make an Unslavia cult shirt with the.
I know how to grift non-grift. I know how. And I keep choosing not to for my own reasons. Even though they keep begging for it. But everyone else, all the good religious Christians, no problem putting out that shitty merch that nobody wants, other than some bozo from your cult who's confused and lost and identified through Jeebus. Another thing they don't understand.
That's very true.
Let's use Jeebus to push merch. Great. Jesus is your marketing guy now. He's your marketing promoter. Don't want to come here and insult me.
Yeah, they always use Jesus.
Why would you want a shirt that says Cockbody Outline and white chalk on it? What is that? What do you get from that exactly? Right? If I make a fucking shirt with a big white gorilla on it, if I make a shirt that says with a big white gorilla that says you're a fucking slave, that at least means something. You're gonna wear some shitty fucking shirt that says "Just Do It Nike," made by the hands of slave children.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
You and EBT gonna go in a merchandise war or something?
There's no war, man. Don't you get it? Don't you get it? There's no war. I've already outcompeted these people as a man. We can't war. You can't war with me. How are you going to go to war with me? How are you going to go to war with a god of all media?
Don't get us back up to where we were, Mr. Paul. Things are calm right now. We don't want to get back into the optics of getting crazy now. I'm being very calm. So are you. There could be a war, but there's not.
Your arms ain't long enough to box with a god of all media. I'm
The
so
war's in your head.
you can't reach
Runs
me.
deep. Your cult
I'm
runs
so
deep.
far above you can't reach me. How are you going to box in war with me?
Send a drone up your ass.
bro.
I'll send a drone up your ass.
I'm on a new level.
Leveling up.
That's it.
Where's your like level up music? Or you're supposed to have a producer to be like the Mario Brothers sound or something. You're supposed to level up here.
Right. And you still need a producer.
Well, I was supposed to have the keys. You still haven't given me the keys.
He probably doesn't trust you.
I'd ban your cupcake ass first off, Tarek, you fuck.
Hey, it's the truth.
Hey, Tarek, how culted are you with Paul? Just curious. This guy just showed up, and now he's pretty culted. I noticed he culted with you pretty good. How culted are you to Paul?
Oh my God!
You guys are culted.
It's not about cult.
No, you're culted. You're like, you give off Timmy and Sly optics, dude. You would suck Gorilla's nuts and wear a shirt and said,
that's where you're wrong.
Gorilla balls.
That's where you're wrong.
Wait. So you're going to buy the Gorilla t-shirt that says, fuck you, slave? Or some derivative of a phrase?
I will.
Okay. So there you go. I have 2-3 t-shirts already sold. Cockbody Outline gave one away to Jessica Jane to get her to wear it on the broadcast and hope someone else will buy it. No one's going to buy it. You know, and I hope someone does buy it. I hope I see a whole bunch of folks out with a Cockbody Outline shirt so I know who to stay away from. Oh, that's definitely a loser failure. Don't go over there. Stay away. You see a white gorilla out and about shirt that says "fuck you, you're a slave." You go over and talk to that motherfucker. See the difference?
Yeah,
dumbass bitch. I am the content. I am the marketing and promo. Not even I am that am. That's what it is. I am that am. The truth. The word.
Yeah,
come on with personalities and
so
shit.
If you're marketing promo, how much would it cost? Let's try and pull Wes Watson here. How much would it cost us Paul, to get you to wear an EBT shirt throughout the stream?
I mean, if the shirt was legit
for marketing purposes, of course.
Oh, okay. Well, if you're gonna like force me into business,
well, I'd probably pick someone other than EBT, but since he got some new merch on,
45 seconds. That's the offer from one of these computer product companies. Some kind of product testing. Hey, if you take our computer and test it and review it.
How dare Verily say we're disgusting when you're the one ripping babies out of your fucking coochie and killing them?
Okay, we're done with that narrative. We're moving on. I don't want to continue the cycle over this every day. It's grotesque.
Well, she needs to quit calling people.
Sure, it's grotesque imagery. I don't want to imagine every day dealing with you children being ripped out and decimated. I don't need that in my life. Got enough problems.
Well, at least you got to get to have the problems. Those babies don't never get the problems.
Right. And it's none of our choice. So you want to fixate on others' choices? You do that. I don't live like that.
I'll fixate when they laugh about it and they act right and dress half naked and act like they're fucking
you're a slave?
Disgusting. You're disgusting, Verily. You're disgusting.
Okay, we got it already, sir. You're constantly fighting with women over something. Could you let it go with the mother issues, please? Are you going to buy the gorilla shirt that says "fuck you, you're a slave"? Yeah.
I need to see what it looks like. And I don't know, like there's multiple reasons why I would buy it, but I wanted to know how much it would cost to wear. How about a Snafu shirt? Snafu Crew. How much would you wear a Snafu Crew shirt for your whole stream? A Truthio shirt. Just, you know, might as well wear for a whole stream, Paul. How much you going to do me for? Charge me? You going to pull Wes Watson on me?
I would charge you, bro. I'd just do it on the strength of it.
Then I'd wear an Unslavia shirt.
All right, there you go.
There you go, Steve. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen.
The best of the bargain because you have no audience and no movement. And if I wear your shit, you might immediately get
right.
killed.
That's why I took the deal immediately. You don't think I'm thinking here, dude, but I am.
Afterward, because there's another piece to this, right? You got to.
Oh, you know I'm thinking here. You know, I
Yeah.
already know that.
Yeah, as long as you're able to do that and pogo up, we're good to go. We're the damn
Just a little
snaps
pogo,
and
just a
snaps.
little pogo,
If
right?
you made a shirt with your head popped off, like the day you said the top of your head popped off in some accident, if you made a shirt with your head popped off, like opened up like one of those old Polly Pockets with like steam and shit coming out like this, like just snafu snaps on a rage, I'd wear that. If you sent it to me, I'm not gonna buy it. But
Hey,
if
why
you
don't
sent
you
it to
call
me,
your
I'd fucking
abortion
wear it, like,
slave who
3
wants
days
to
in a
talk to
row.
me
I
in
don't
chat
care.
to come up here and talk? If she wants to come, if she wants to call me, tell your abortionist culted one to come up here and actually talk to him.
No. I'm not on that. You know, oh man, you don't feel the energy today? I'm not on that kind of time today.
All right, I do, but you know, Verily, you want to chat? Get your ass up here one.
No. I don't want a fight and argument between you two. I'm not on that kind of time and energy today. I'm vibing so high that I can't even see none of this, right? I'm so high up, I can't even. I need a telescope to even see what you're talking about. So lowly at this point.
Hey, what's up with all these homoerotic thumbnails that's coming out in Slavia lately? Just curious.
Like, oh, you mean the yeah? I talked to Moose about this. You know, I used one because I thought it was funny, but that's him.
Oh,
So,
that
yeah, when
explains
you
it.
see
Moose.
homoerotic on Slavia thumbnails, that's the producer, non-producer, because he's got some resolution he needs to go through. So he's got like some male model on there holding a gorilla, rubbing its belly, and looking at it with a weird look. I mean, a man's not supposed to look at an animal like that. It's kind of bizarre. But he did it, so I said, all right, I'll use it. It's kind of funny. Give him some credit, whatever. But yeah, don't
producing.
For that.
Mr. Moose is producing. Now
He got
O'Shea.
me in another one with Jack Talcott as Hannibal Lecter and me as the woman who comes to see him, Clarice. Like, why would you make me into Clarice? And then Jack Talcott as, I mean, I could see Jack Talcott as Hannibal Lecter, but do I have to be Clarice? What is that? So I don't know. I might use that, I guess, because it's kind of funny, but it's bizarre to even have that thought, to imagine me as a woman. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure, like people like.
What's that now? You're breaking up. Your whole life's breaking up. All right. So I was looking at the design last night, but I need to customize it. Snafu Snaps, do you want to pick pick a design with me or what? Hello?
He's too cheap, Paul.
What's wrong with this idiot?
You got to get the shirt sites that allow you to put your own image on the shirt, and they'll still print it for you for the same price. And you get someone you know who's good at art to put something real fucking flashy or whatever on there, something that you would want to wear yourself, or I'm fucking know, like a dope ass design. Same price, but a whole lot more bang for your buck, in my opinion. That's what I would do.
Well, like I thought that this was funny because they keep telling me I can't stand up. So like if I get one that says get up, stand up, it's kind of real and true, and then it's kind of a takeoff of the joke.
Right,
So,
inside joke shit.
Yeah, if I do the white gorilla that says get up, stand up, it's a rights and freedom thing. And then maybe something on the back. I don't know. We're brainstorming.
And a lot of those stores, it's nothing for you to put up 20 different shirt designs.
Right.
10 of them are templates from their fucking website, and then maybe you get 10 of them that are something you made, or you had someone that's good at art make. Not that you're not, but you make something. I'm sure there are tons of people that would love to create for you. And then right there, you've got 10 template shirts that just say some fucking phrase or have some image or whatever, and then 10 that are artistic or whatever. And then, you sell them at $20 a piece. You're probably getting $10 or $12 or $14 off of each shirt. I don't know. I haven't looked into it, but damn. And then there's a lot of people that don't contribute that would love to just contribute as long as they got something like a shirt. They're just like old school boomers that need something.
I agree.
Yeah, there's one guy who's working on some designs on his own time. So we'll see what comes forth. I mean, I don't need to rush anything. I'm not looking to like cash in on the audience. If I look more into it and I get motivated and I see a pathway to that, then I'll do that. But yeah, I'm not cuck body outline desperate to try to cash out on the audience. Proving once again he's making little to nothing doing whatever he's doing without that. I'd like to do that if I saw the opportunity and thought that it was something where we'd all benefit from and enjoy. But yeah, I'm not gonna like force something out just to get people to buy shit. It's kind of a touchy thing with me, right? Because I'm in this for the long game and integrity. And if I'm gonna put something out, I want to make sure it's something that people get value from, because you really only got a few shots with that. If 50% of this audience will buy something that I put forth just on the strength of it, like that's most people promote and market to get like 10% of an audience. 20%. I think I'm coming in somewhere around 50%, which is a damn good percentage established of credibility, right? Integrity. And I don't want to gamble that or fuck that up just to put a shirt out and make another 7,000. At the end of the day, 7,000 ain't worth the rest of my life and my career and my name, my reputation, so to speak.
And your energy.
And you're not selling out by using a service that's like PayPal. Like you're already using PayPal or Venmo to get people that want to donate to you. This is just another form of donation where somebody gets a kickback from that donation. It's not selling out any more than what's already happened. I don't think you've sold out, and I don't think you selling T-shirts is selling out.
Oh, the reality of it is, Thomas, people who want to support and help you win are going to do it anyway. If you give them a shirt, they're just giving you the $20 they were going to give you anyway, and you give them something back.
That's very true.
And then all you're really doing is they're paying you to market and promote. So people get a conversation going. Where's that shirt from? What is that? Oh, that's this guy. He does this. So you could argue making up shirts and giving them away would be equally as profitable long term as even selling them, because it's just marketing and promotion for you moving around each town.
Well, if you sell 20 shirts a month, then you can afford to give away 5 as a promotion just on each stream. You know what I mean? Like once a week, you give away a shirt or 2.
Yeah, I mean that's almost more along the lines of what it should be in a way. Is you think bigger and you come from a different perspective. It's a lost leader kind of mentality.
Hey,
I'm just gonna make.
I was gonna come look at your shirts, but I just had an issue with that blown head gasket, maybe. So I'll be back.
All right. Yeah, it's it's really just reinvesting back in yourself and your quote unquote brand. It's really how they would look at it. You're not really doing that to get rich off the hit. It's a 2 or 3 move thing, like most things are.
But also,
it leads to other stuff too, right? Go ahead, Thomas.
Most of your audience wants to see you succeed, and if this is like a minimal,
No, I don't think so.
Well, I'd say, like you said,
most of this audience, most of the 1.3 thousand wants to see me succeed. Are you sick in the head?
Yeah, he's sick in the head.
I guess I'm just used to seeing the people.
There ain't more than 10% of folks. There ain't more than 10% of folks who contribute and support.
Yeah.
And there's at least I don't know how many there are watching, waiting, and hating on some level.
Oh, they're hating.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, how could they not? Do you see the way I show up and act out here at times?
Well, maybe there's ways you can like maybe, I don't know. I could get deeper into it, but it's going to get boring. But
Well-
I think there's potential, is what I'm getting at.
Bro, there's like 3 to 5% of the people who they say fought the Revolutionary War. We could argue about all that history, but there's like 3 to 5% on the planet who understand rights, freedom, and principles and are willing to stand on it. There's like 3 to 5% of people who aren't convicted in every county in the land. It's a 95 to 98% conviction rating. So I'd say genuinely you're looking at like more like 3 to 5% of this audience genuinely wants to see me win and succeed because they know what it means for them. Right. And you could argue even that is selfish. I don't see it that way. They understand what it means for them, and they're going to keep rooting me on and keep waiting for me to show up every day for myself and others and keep supporting and contributing because it means something to them.
Of course.
If someone's going to go buy some overpriced bullshit at Target, why wouldn't they just buy a shirt from you? I think it could help out. Or,
well, that's what it is. It's not that they want to
do
see
the
me
same
win
thing.
and succeed. It's that they respect me on some level in my journey. And if they like the shirt, well, then, they're replacing something else they really don't respect and like. So it's the same idea as if you're a gangster rapper and you're on the come up, you got haters who might do a hit on you who are bumping your mixtape. They'll buy your mixtape, they'll bump it on a ride, but when they see you, they're going to shoot at you. You explain that logic, and don't tell me it doesn't go on because I've seen it. I know that it goes on, right? Like they were saying, I talk about this shit all the time, these kind of dynamics that I study. They were saying the guys who killed Pop Smoke and people like that, Nipsey Hussle, were playing their music before doing hits on them. So they'll buy their mixtape, they'll play the music, they'll wear the shirt, and they'll still do the hit on you, right? So they'll respect you, they'll like what you put out, but they want to replace you, and they rather you not exist because of what it means for them. They think.
Yeah, they're backstabbers.
It's like 40, 50, 60 something year old white people that'll buy the mixtape off the black guy at the gas station because they don't want to hear their rap. They don't want to hear them fucking try to sell it. But then at the same token, 4 hours later at a party, they're talking shit. That's just how it is. People are like that, and they're not genuine. And that's the 97% of people that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Why is Christy Lee Dolls? Christy, you're obsessed with Z. I'm not. He's obsessed with me. I'm not with him. Why are you bringing him up constantly like I'm talking about him doing subliminals? You think that I consider Zetetic Warrior to be someone doing a hit on me necessarily in this moment? You think that that's on my mind? You guys need to stop projecting onto me. I'm not even focused on him and whatever he's doing in this moment, especially.
Paul, he doesn't even
what
have
the
it
fuck
in
you're
him.
talking about. How's he going to do a hit on me anyway?
He doesn't have it in him.
efforts. That's it. That's the point. We already tried that and it went nowhere, and he realized it immediately. He can't do a hit on me. So what are you talking about?
Yeah. Paul, here's the difference. That's why I respect you, and I respect the truth and everything else. Look at Delete Laws, right? He's always trying to promote his shirts and all that. All he's doing it is for money. He's got a lot of knowledge about whatever he knows.
He's dishonorable.
He is. And one time I was watching the show, he was begging people, I guess because he said that when the cops get on him, he shakes and he needs like money to buy a what do you call it, a phone or something to hold his hand.
Oh,
He
he's
was
got
begging
PTSD.
people.
He needs an emotional support animal. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry to say, Paul.
Hey,
I lost
the majority of these people who had access to all the money and the networking and the numbers, when they talk to me, they don't like what I tell them in private.
Well, you say the
all
truth.
talk to me, and I tell them I really don't give a fuck what you think and feel respectfully. I don't say it like that. I tell them, well, you got your perspective. Just keep walking your walk. I'll keep doing mine. When they tell me I should run for this and do that and this and that, maybe you're right, and one day I'll regret it, but I'm not right now. So I'm not like most people, bro. They can't get to me. Whoever the they is, if they exist, they can't get to me on any level because they can't move me.
Very true. But like he's running for a mayor, right?
I'm
And
not
he thought,
interested in what anyone else is doing right now.
yeah, I know,
This
but
is my life.
the thing with delete laws is how are you going to be a mayor when you know all them are corrupt?
I don't know what anybody else is up to or why. I have suspicions. They wouldn't tell me if they knew, and I suspect they don't even know.
Yeah.
So I just stay focused on what I do. When they come into my realm, I speak the truth as I see it, and I'm pretty much impenetrable and immovable because I'm not motivated by the same things they are. I find that time and time again. I'm just not.
That's the way to be.
It may not be the way to be, but that's the only way I know how to be, so I continue to do that. I might be wrong, bro. They all might be onto something. At a certain point, it flipped. I thought my whole life these people were okay and had it together, and then I realized I can't go back from that now. So I'm not going to presume you understand and have it together just because you may have some results in your arena. Because even when I examine those results, it's a glass house built on sand. Don't show me a nice car and a nice house that you don't own, that you're in debt to for the next 30 years. When half of the reason you're talking to me is to ask me how the fuck to get you out of what you got yourself into. Yep. That shit ain't pretty and cute to me. That shit's a representation of a liability. So, show me the damn house and the land and everything else clear and free. Show me who and what you are and what you're not. I really don't want to hear it. I want to see it. I don't want to hear it. Hoes want to see it. Men want to hear it. Excuse me. Men want to see it. Hoes want to hear it. Right? I'm not a hoe. I'm not interested in what you got to tell me. And I believe half of what I see. So when you show me something, I'm going to ask you what's beyond that. And I usually get my answer every time.
Yep. And when you ask a question so you can hear the answer and you act like a hoe and say you don't listen anyway, or you ain't got time to listen, fuck you anyway.
That's so true. Hey, Paul, I had a girl that, because I put one time, I don't respect Watson anymore. She's like, why don't you respect Watson? Well, here's your answer. He's always bragging about making 50,000 a day or 60,000 a day, and he's all about making people better and all that. And then, as a man where you stand for truth and liberty and freedom, how in the world he shouldn't even charge you? He should even give you money to train you. That to me just was way off.
Bro, you would think at a certain point when you got money like how they're flossing, going out and getting Aventadors on a Thursday, you would think at a certain point enough is enough, huh? And then if you got people on the come up, you start kind of creating different opportunities, right? You want to be hungry and inspired in certain venues and grind and ball till you fall and all the rest of it, cool. But when you're dealing with regular motherfuckers on the street who got potential on some level and are about it, you ride with them on the strength of it. You can't forget where you come from. This is how motherfuckers get hit up in the streets, right? Is forgetting where they come from and acting like they can't be touched and treating everybody like a broken hoe and a come up. See, I don't give a fuck. I just learn something and move on. Someone else is going to catch feelings and they're going to do something to you.
Very true.
So 10,000, watch how I come take that Aventador from you, bitch ass motherfucker. People who are like me on some level, who are even more desperate and or more confident in doing criminality, how I was at a certain point, they say, I hit you up to do this over this and you want to treat me like that? Watch what I do now, bro. Right? Like the world that I was running at one point, people, they would hit someone up not completely knowing what it was about and get into the fold and then ask for a favor to test somebody to see what they're about. Soon as you deny that because you want to be a selfish motherfucker and think you're in control and empowered, they're going to show you something. They're going to say, I asked you because I was trying to do good business. Now I'm going to take it from you and more, and you're not going to do shit about it. So you got to be careful, treat people. Be careful how you treat people and talk to people because you might entertain angels unaware. You might entertain devils unaware. As long as you're cool with that and that dynamic and treating everybody like that and what comes with that, I'm cool with it.
Yeah, but he's always, Watson's always saying that he's helping people like, in jail, and he improved all these people's lives, and he's trying to charge you $10,000 for training. That is so fucking low, dude.
It wasn't even about that, bro. It was about me telling him something and him not listening, and then just talking about whatever he wanted, like a bitch. I don't give a fuck that you want money and that you train people. I didn't ask you for none of that. I even told you twice. You didn't listen to what I said. I didn't ask you for shit. And then he doubled down on it. I go, either you're retarded or you're just so blinded by money that even when you're saying you listen to what I'm saying, you're still doing a pitch on me. You're not going to pimp on me, bro. I don't need your coaching. I don't need your instruction. I don't need none of that. If I want to get in better shape, I know how to fuck to do that. I'm a man. Guess what? There's YouTube. You could learn it. Track your macros, track the micros, do certain body parts each day of exercise. And I could do all that. What else is he going to teach me? How to take that skill and then market and promote it and be a life coach for everyone else? I know how to do that if I want to do that and make a business out of it efficiently. He should go train Talcott, not me.
Yeah. And here's the thing, too. With him, what did he say the other day? He said something to you.
10,000 for a web appearance. Bro, are you sick in the head? Like, I could be the next Fresh and Fit and better. Them kids are chumps. Like, I'll go to the local strip joint, pay 5 strippers $200 to take the rest of the night off and come stand around me and talk my shit. And I'll go break right out of the algorithm, because that's all you need, right? In this goofy chimpanzee world, you need 5 goofy bitches sitting around you, nodding at everything you're saying, taking a check and acting like they're in the stable. And then all the little boys start yammering and chattering and moving your name indirectly, promoting you. I'm going to give you 10,000 for what? To have a discussion over shit that I do more than you in certain areas? You do what you do at the gym. I do what I do in the street where it matters in important situations that are about principles. And I deal with the consequences and sacrifice. You aren't doing that. You're paying like you weigh. You're just another corporate hoe. Pay the tax, get the license, get all the shit, and shut the fuck up, or you're going to be back in the hole.
He lies for money. His job was to get that 10K from you. He didn't read a goddamn thing you said. If you wanted a 10K in his fucking bank account, he moved on. And I'm not saying you don't maybe talk to Wes Watson in the future after he knows who you are, but I bet you he didn't read a goddamn thing you wrote.
Bro, listen, I could go reinvest whatever folks have given me over the years, and I could go do what they do. All they're doing is tricking. I could go rent a car, take the plates off, say I got a Bugatti. All I have to do is make one video and never talk about it again. You don't even realize what half these guys do. You don't even see the move, right? Like, they're going and renting a car for a week, riding around in it, making 10 videos. You never see the damn car again. You never hear about it. And you think they got a Bugatti now, right? Yeah, they put in 2,000 back into their fucking image, and you're going to give them 20,000 trying to be like them to get their knowledge and their teachings. You guys are so pimped and hoed on. If I can reach anybody out there who's a part of any of this shit, I'm telling you, you're pimped and hoed on. There's folks out there who know what these people know, and they'll just give you the game on the strength of it, right? These other people are hoeing on you, right? Because it's to be sold, not told. That's what the rule is in pimping. So, I could go do that. I can go fucking with her if I don't want to give the ID, because I don't have ID anymore. It was all in the tent. The tent, they said, blew over. I didn't go back up there. It's gone. It's gone. Right? Passport too, all of it. I ain't got no ID no more. If I had one at one point, I got credentials and that's it. And I've used it everywhere and made it work. When they told me it wouldn't work, definitely not. The system won't take it. It works because I just enforce it. I don't hit nobody and threaten nobody. I just tell them, what are you telling me the system says? Oh, it says this. It doesn't say anything. It reads that. Could you figure out a way around that? What do you think you could put in that box right there? I know you're used to a fucking program and process every day because you're a slave, where you get the same ID and credential. What you come to find out dealing with certain institutions is there's like hundreds of ID cards out there, all types of credentials, tribal IDs, right? Let's say someone was to go to a dispensary. We can't take nothing but a U.S. issued ID. Wrong. There's tribal cards. There's all types of shit. And unless you say I'm doing fraud here today, you can't make a legal determination on accepting or not accepting that. If you don't accept that lawful credential, it's now grounds for a defamation lawsuit. Are you going to tell me you don't believe I'm the of age that it says on there? Because the age is all you want to know, right? You want to make sure it's not a minor who's coming in here. So what are we looking for? Do you believe that information's false? Are you willing to deny me service and discriminate against me because I won't opt into the federal corporation known as United States? USC 1A, it's right there. No, it doesn't work that way. So I know your system says that. I know you all do that all day, every day. I know you're accustomed to that. But there's another process going on here. And it's common fucking sense. Not everybody on this land is part of a United States corporation and a citizen. And you're not going to deny them access to products and services. This is ridiculous. They're going to force us all into contract to access the public products and services. Are you kidding? Doesn't go that way. So I usually 9 out of 10 times get my way because my way is the way. It's common sense, discernible, definable, demonstrable, experiential, and explainable. Your thoughts, expert panel?
I think too many people are scared and they think whatever they read or see is the way it is instead of looking inside or maybe reading a broader spectrum of things to get a better view of how to operate inside, which is what I feel like I've had to do.
Thomas,
But
you
anyway.
want me to do a new stream of content for everyone? Content. I got some bozo on Facebook who keeps filming the cops and getting millions of views. Doesn't even know what to do with it. Just, and he keeps winding up at court, can't handle the courts. Right, but he thinks he's doing something because he's getting millions of views doing content. Should I go start my own tribe right now using paperwork, create my own plastic credential, and walk into every fucking dispensary up and down whatever land I'm on and let them tell me that you need a US ID to get products and services, and then explain to them, and then just keep walking in everywhere and getting it done? I just how many different levels could I just show you that the whole thing is bullshit and you bought into it?
If you just spent 30 minutes a day doing that on a new channel, you wouldn't even have to link it to this channel and you'd gather followers. But
what? He's a sovereign
you don't
citizen.
need to do that.
Sovereign citizen. Well, the weed boys don't care about the contradiction with the fact that weed's federally illegal. So every time you go into a dispensary and buy it, regardless of what the state does, you're committing a federal crime, boy.
Yeah, but
federal crime. So you don't mind not paying slave tax, right? You say, I'm not going to do that. I'm paying my slave tax. I don't want to do federal crime. But you'll walk in and commit thousands of federal crimes every fucking month and year, buying reefer. Millions of federal crimes committed every day. But no one cares about that because somehow intrinsically the slaves figured out it's their right to smoke weed or not.
But the one thing that should move you past federal code is the fact that there's a dereliction of duty that could get you caught up in a death penalty under federal code, but also there's thousands of federal code that goes against the Constitution. So when there's a conflict like that, why would the code system even give you any source of life or understanding? It's full of confusion, contradiction, just bullshit, in my opinion.
You know what the best one was last night? I created a completely new channel to test the algorithm and system. I put the same gorilla video up on Shorts. It immediately got more views in 2 hours than the one I put on the channel with all the subscribers. So with no subscribers, just with access to the algorithm, it got 60, 80 views in an hour. The gorilla video did less at first because it was only given access to people who subscribe to me. And a lot of them probably are checking on it. So I proved that concept too instantly.
This whole pattern, they won't do it to me. YouTube won't unsubscribe me to people that I fucking watch. And I know that to be the case, but I hear it so much with other people, and they have unsubscribed me to people that I don't really watch. And I know that happens to you because it doesn't make any sense for people to physically find your videos and you get 1,500 views when you only had fucking 100, live viewers. To me, that math is off. And to me, if your channel was able to gather the attention of 20,000 followers almost instantly, then all of a sudden the brakes hit. I mean, it's clear on so many levels. And then when you try to branch out, it's the brakes are on still. It's clear.
I mean, let's not deny that a big part of that was my introduction was not who everyone thought that I was supposed to be. But again, it's a huge gap in sort of audience taking a disinterest in you based on personality defects versus watching the charts and all the numbers completely not add up, and you getting like 1% of the subscribers to ever show up consistently. And at some point, everything being labeled and shut down, and then watching the algorithm games. Like I said, when you see the same people there over and over, and even they're complaining, regular subscribers, no notifications, unsubscribed, and then you start a new channel and immediately get more views with no subscribers than you do with 22,000, that's ridiculous.
That's proof of concept. And so is like people hating you for being you and having an open panel. Like, so they might dislike you because you call people out, or you give your your view on it, even though you don't curtail it to the government standards. You're not being PC, as they say. But whole time, everyone in the world, there's something about their personality that they don't like, that they don't want on camera, but you're not trying to hide that. So they're mad that they see themselves in you, that you're putting yourself, you know what I mean? The things that maybe you don't wish to show the world, you're just showing the world. And now they're mad at you because they can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's supposed to be, well, it doesn't always fit that mold, because on here, again, there's panels that I see in the live list who get promoted 400, 500, 600 live viewers, 12, 15,000 after the fact for absolute nonsense. Just unintelligible for 45 minutes at a time. Everyone's screaming, yelling, talking over each other about
If you fit
drama
the
no one cares
proposed
about.
confusion, you get the views.
Yeah, that's it. If I were to just fight and argue on here, talk over each other constantly, and I didn't have a name or brand attached to an idea that is antithetical to their system and algorithm, again, I could have taken any lane, and coming into this what it's going to be. They're going to blacklist you and blackball you when you are an idealist. They want co-operators. They don't want idealists.
I mean, that's where it fucking stands. And unfortunately, they're not giving you, what they give everyone else, which is, if you enjoy the content despite the character or despite the content, we're going to give you more views, or the algorithm's going to, direct more people to you. So that way you both make money, or you both get whatever benefits on the platform. But it's censorship nation at this point, and it's been that way since the Crusades. I mean, the book
Yeah, the
burnings
closest
were
thing you're going to get to
censorship.
idealism on this metaverse, the way things are and who it's run by, is like a Patrick David, Jordan Peterson. You're going to get some civilized, sophisticated, suit-wearing slave who follows the policies and codes, talks about masculinity, and pretty much has an identity tied to something in the world, the way everybody lives. It's that's what's pushed and promoted, are these false symbols of men and masculinity, inauthenticity, and it's one dimensional, right? You're never going to see Patrick David or the rest of these guys talk about the taboo things that they do in their life or a part of. They're above and beyond that. But they'll project idealism, they'll project masculinity, they'll project strength, but there's really no way to verify that. There's no walk in their life that I've seen these people take on where they can verify that they've put up or need to shut up. I see the opposite. They're all bought out, bought in. They have no mind of their own, separate from the system and its corporate structure. And given the option between really standing up and standing out and sacrificing and making yourself an enemy to the system, they work with it and within it. And they ignore all the rest of reality and creation that is unpretty and not fit for the prying eyes of the public and show business. They're still living by the same principles and ideals that are non-principles that Hollywood has put forth. right? And then the other side of that is Kim Kardashian doing a sex tape. We just can't meet a middle ground, huh?
Sick world.
I mean,
Paul.
it's all embedded. It's all embedded, and if you follow the money, it all comes back to the banks, and that's who funds the wars. They fund in the Crusades. They pay the Muslims. They pay the Catholics. War, please. It creates profit for them, and that's basically playing out in every facet of our life today. Even though war is not as prevalent today as the media wants to portray it.
The last 3 years was. Go ahead, Tariq, real quick.
I'm sorry.
The last 3 years. Let me just go real quick. The last 3 years is an intelligence and morality and masculinity test. If you failed, I don't want to talk to you and know you. If you want to be an influencer, anybody out there should just ask them, what'd you do the last 3 years? And if they can't give a concise answer on their growth and development and what they've come to learn about what they need to do, they're bullshitting themselves and everyone else. And I don't care how expensive their cigars and suits are and all the rest of it. You're a fucking clown. The more expensive the shit is on you and around you, the more of a punk pussy I think you are. That's just how I view you. That's the world that I come from, I guess. There's no other way for me to look at it. Your shit owns you.
I find myself, now that I'm living single, that like when I want to eat dinner, I just use the same plate and I wash it after I'm done. Like I need so much less than like the idea that society puts on me. It's little things like that. It's cool. I mean, it's way more than that, but you know what I'm getting at.
Right. If each person had one set of cutlery in one dish, they would eat, clean it, and put it back. And there would never be a dishwasher full of dishes.
Yeah.
Just goes back to the idea that someone else is going to take care of it and do it later, and I don't have to be responsible and accountable in the moment. And I don't have to create a process and procedure that makes sense. I mean, when you live on the land, that's what you do. Every time you eat, you have a plate and one fork, like at jail, and you clean it every time and put it back. And it's always there, and you always use it, and there's no need for more. More is for lazy motherfuckers who don't want to clean the shit right away and then put it in the damn dishwasher full of food and then go get a clean plate every 20 fucking minutes. Like you're at a Holiday Inn. I don't even do it there because it's disrespectful. I'm sick of fat slaves everywhere I go using everything up because it's someone else going to do it. Right? Just like the fat slaves who leave the carts out at Walmart. They just let the cart drift. Why put it back? Yeah, because you're a fat. That's the theme in your life. So that's the theme in everybody's life till they rectify it. Self-sustainability, efficiency, self-sufficiency and efficiency, responsibility and accountability. What the fuck is practical and what makes sense? What works for you and everybody else there?
There's a quote from someone from a more, I think they were Native American, but they could have been Native Australian. I wasn't really paying attention to where they're from. It was on Reddit, but they were saying, like, in our community, nobody has two of anything. If you have two of something, that means you got to give it away because we're all here to basically do and live a life of, whatever, abundance, a life under God. So why do I need two sweatshirts? I can only wear one at a time. And I guess in Australia, like, Central America, that makes sense. Not necessarily in Canada, but you know what I'm getting at. There's no need for 3 guns when I can only ever shoot one at once. And there's more practicality. You could plan that out and have different scenarios. But what they're getting at is that essentially, if I've got 2 swords and you don't have a sword, why the fuck am I holding on to this second one?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of that's where Talcott will say we're going to rewrite all the rules and change property rights. And that has nothing to do with community. I mean,
right.
If someone's in
And I'm
need
not
and they're
trying to get
there, I
into
guess you provide on some level. And then the best way to provide is teach them how to provide for themselves. So, there's a fine line with that. But yeah, in certain situations, obviously, if it calls forth, especially the necessity. You know, like I said the other day, if we're at war and I have 5 guns, I can only use one at a time. So I'm probably going to hand you one.
Right. And
Doesn't
that's
mean when the
nothing to
war's
do with
over that it becomes your gun either. It's going to go back to me. Right? You're
right.
taking the gun to fight for a cause. It's not about the property.
And I have a plan. I have one under my pillow. I have one in the console of my truck. You know, that type of thing. Like, I got 2 for a reason, or whatever.
And that's for metaphysical, metaphorical, metaversal
No,
purposes.
I was talking about something else. Dildos, I think.
Yeah, no, okay. No, I was just saying the idea of going to war. I didn't mean, but that's revealing. Thank you. I meant like, I don't plan to go to war or be doing war on anybody. I don't want my words to be misconstrued. I'm just laying out an idea of certain times call for certain measures. And again, in those times, usually people are brought back to a cause rather than what they want and don't want. It's like, here's what needs to happen, and here's how the resources are appropriated. But you know, we can't have a gray area in life where some things are this one time. Oh well, you know, Artie can. The legalists like Artie's corporate fiction can. You know, where the state of is a corporation, but it's not because sometimes it acts like it, but isn't. That's okay. But you know, property rights, freedom, and also the idea of community, especially in times of desperation or necessity. Wow, that's how do we navigate that? It's not black and white, right?
Nothing is black and white except for apparently a court of law, where we really got to be in our P's and Q's about language.
Yeah, I mean, there usually is a gray area to find. You could say there's good and evil. You could say there's rights and freedoms and an administrative process, slaving. But there is a gray area of what you give is what you get. If you act like a slave, you get treated like one. The individual and the preponderance of individuals acted like free men and women, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So there's a reason why it's happening. There is a middle ground. I'm not going to go in there and tear the place up trying to prove that there's rights and freedoms. I'm going to exemplify what a free man, empowered man, honorable man looks and feels and sounds like.
And on the base of it, it should be black and white there, because you should be able to resolve your differences in the private. And if it has to make it to the public in a court of law or a court of record, that's where it needs to be black and white. Like, let's get past whatever the fuck we thought we understood. I'm saying you owe me XYZ, and you're saying I don't. You know what I mean? How it
Dude,
goes.
did you see when the fucking Valdez stopped me and I told him and them I knew this interaction was going to happen and we need this interaction? I mean, you know, that's what got so much energy and attention. Is that's the closest thing to God on earth you could exemplify in a moment. Is I'm supposed to be scared and I'm telling them, bro, I'm looking for you out here. Why are you riding around with no plates and no license, insurance, and registration? Because I want you to stop me so we can have a conversation about who and what we all are and what the fuck we need to be doing here at this time, sir, respectfully, as Americans. That's why. Yeah, you weren't expecting that, huh? You're not investigating me. I'm investigating you. That's the
Most
point.
cops don't want to go to court, and he knew he'd see your ass in court because he has nothing upon law to stand, and that's all you're standing on is law.
He's another one that said he didn't follow federal law and federal code. We do our own thing here, he says. And he was asking me to just give him the name that was not my name that the government created, which isn't mine, but was given to me. You know, that rap he did?
Very
that double talking rap. What's that?
Very revealing.
What's that? He wants the name. Go back and watch it again. I don't know. I should just play that on a loop one day. Why even do a broadcast anymore? I'm a sovereign citizen. I should just play on loop when Valdez asked me to give him the name that's not my name, that the government created, that looks like my name but isn't. What? You mean the entity that you all keep saying doesn't exist and is only in the mind of sovereign citizens that Artie says is in all caps so that you can read it easier on the paper?
Yeah.
Because I'm a fucking moron, right?
Well, in terms of natural understanding, a sovereign citizen is a police officer or a government official that is derelict in duty.
Oh, you're not going to pimp on me. It's that simple. And when you go to admitting that you're pimping, I'm just going to point to it and go, did you just Is anyone here with me? Did you just watch and see that? Like I know that to get jurisdiction, you need me to give you the entity's name, and I'm not doing it. Doesn't matter if you ask me what I do for a living and I pay tax. You're trying to create jurisdiction. I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And I told him, I'm not answering questions. Why are we even going to address that? I didn't give him an answer, right? In the middle of answering questions, I told him I'm not answering questions. And go right back to answering questions that I choose. I've had him in interrogation room say to me, what's this? What's this? I give them a long speech. They go, what's this? I'm not answering questions. And then they go, well, you just answered those questions. I said, let me specify. I'm choose not to answer that question. Let's move on.
Yeah,
you can
didn't
keep
say
throwing
all.
questions at me. I'll answer them, and then some of them I won't. And that's my right.
Right.
And
I
I'd be a
don't
fool
answer
to answer
some
them knowing what
questions.
they're asking for.
You don't have to use the word some in logic. If I don't answer questions, I didn't use the disclaimer all. So, there are questions I want to answer, questions maybe I will. And they try to get you to, like you said, hop in their jurisdiction. You play it very well. After listening to you and listening to some of the people, you said that you like what they said. I hear these auditors do their audits, and some of them, they could really use an understanding of what law and language and legal really means, and what, etymology. We've talked about this to a huge extent, but wouldn't you like your favorite quote unquote auditor to actually have the knowledge you have, Paul? That would be a sight to see. And maybe not that you should go audit people, but damn, if you got in another interaction, we'd all love to see it, put it that way.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. He wanted me to play that part in the video. I was looking for it, but I couldn't find it scanning through there. I could pull it up at some point. It's there if people want to watch it. All right, give me a final word. I think I'm out of here. I'm going to keep it pretty brief today. I don't want to drag it on.
I like today that I threw some of the knowledge that I learned from you at some Amish people, and they
Well, I hope everybody enjoyed the little recap of Paul Enslaved at Pimp. Proper Instruction Motivates People. Please go over, check him out, hit those buttons over there too. Brings an important message to the table. Though he might be a little bit raw, he's real. So check that out. Well, I don't know, Robert. I don't know that he's giving any kind of advice to hire an attorney. Neither one of us accepts that. So I don't know where you got that. But anyway, I appreciate everybody support me. Make sure you do hit that like, share, and subscribe button to help the algorithm, help attract more people, especially with that share button. The more you people share that button or share these links, the more people will be attracted. If you don't do that, then it's just basically the same people running the same circle, watching the same video. So please help out on that. And in the meantime, remember, I love you, but I don't give a rat's ass whether you love me back or not. So be blessed. Have a good day. And I'll see everybody again tonight at 8 p.m. See you then. Bye.